bit. Following the fall of Bashar Assad's government over the weekend, Israel carrying out nearly 500 airstrikes in Syria, targeting many of the country's military installations. This is ABC News. The merger between grocery giants Kroger and Albertsons is on hold after two judges halted the proposed $24 billion deal.
Kroger and Albertsons claim they need to join forces to better compete with Walmart, Amazon, and Costco. The companies can appeal the judges' rulings, but the cost of keeping the deal together could be challenging. Grocery prices in October finally fell for the first time in 4 years. But just last week, Walmart CEO predicted higher prices at the start of next year, saying eggs and dairy are currently driving food inflation. And although they could come back down, he warned processed food prices likely won't drop much in 2025.
That's ABC's Rhiannon Alley. In this season of giving, Amazon is making it a little easier for customers to express gratitude. Owners of Amazon's Alexa device can simply say, "Alexa, thank my driver," to gift $5 to their delivery order at no cost or charge to the customer. The promotion was launched on December 4th. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Here's another great reason to use the United States Postal Service this season. When sending a package, why venture outside? Ship with USPS for a true holiday ride. Want to stay cozy and warm? There's no need to roam. With free package pickup and labels printed from home. We have over 600,000 employees always in motion. And before you know it, your gift has delivered emotion. Spread the holiday joy this season with USPS's Enhanced Network. Learn more at USPS.com/holidayride.
Oh, hello, Michael. Santa here. I need special gift ideas for my list this year. Any suggestions?
Hey, Santa, how about a Simple Life Hospitality gift certificate? It's the perfect present, flexible, thoughtful, and truly unique.
No, there's something different.
Our gift certificates are perfect for birthdays, holidays, or just because, with multiple amounts to fit any budget. Share the joy of this season. Give a Simple Life Hospitality gift certificate. Visit simpleliferentals.com.
Ho, thank you, Michael.
I'm Lisa Hale with WGBW News. Your news in depth. Find it in the news section at WGBW.FM.
The Bucks are headed to Vegas. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Bucks beat the Magic 114-109 to return to the NBA Cup semifinals in Las Vegas. Giannis led with 37 points in a game that went back and forth with the Magic. Doc Rivers.
Listen, I thought both teams, I think we're known now over the last 12 games as a defensive team. And yet at halftime, we were shooting 58% and they were shooting 57%. And I told our guys, I said, the first team that plays defense goes to Vegas. Bottom line.
College basketball, the Badgers lost last night on the road to Illinois. The final 86-80. Number 20th ranked Wisconsin has suddenly lost their last 3 in a row. At the baseball meetings in Dallas, Brewers GM Matt Arnold named Executive of the Year. And he gave credit to the Brewers National League Manager of the Year, Pat Murphy.
Yeah, it starts with Pat. I think it starts with our ownership group, all the coaches around. Our players, certainly. Our front office guys. I'm surrounded by incredible people. And really, when you get these kind of awards, it really is a team award.
That's Brewers GM Matt Arnold. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Home Alone is at the top of many people's viewing list every holiday season. According to an Instagram poll conducted by the website Puberty, Home Alone was voted the greatest Christmas movie of all time. The film garnered 446,000 votes to take first place ahead of The Nightmare Before Christmas, which came in second. If you want to be entertained, read the comments on the Instagram poll where people argue about Christmas movies, and not exactly with holiday cheer. Other runner-ups included The Santa Claus, Christmas Vacation, Elf, and It's a Wonderful Life. You want to talk about range as an actor? Who could play Bruce Springsteen, a wrestler in Iron Claw, and the son of Jabba the Hutt? The answer is Jeremy Allen White. White has just signed on to play Jabba the Hutt's son in The Mandalorian and Grogu. Variety reports that White will provide the voice for the role and that this is the Emmy-winning actor's first role in a major movie franchise. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
You can always continue the conversation on social media. Share your thoughts when you find and follow Civic Media on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
Light snow this morning, around an inch or less of accumulation possible, then becoming windy with falling temperatures this afternoon. Will be in the teens by late today. Tonight, windy and cold with a low of 2 above and a wind chill in the teens below 0. Tomorrow, sunshine with a high of 11. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently, it's 26.
Jane Matnair and Greg Bach
Coming up on the show, public service announcement with Dr. Laura Hanks. If you ever have a question for the doctor, just email it to janesays@civicmedia.us. We'll see you then.
Matt and Air on air. Weekday mornings at 10.
You're listening to the Talk.
Coming to Northeast Wisconsin live from the Civic Media Studios and featuring TV and radio broadcast veteran John Maino, along with the City of Green Bay's longest-serving mayor, Jim Schmidt. This is Maino and the Mayor.
Begin the day with a friendly voice, a companion unobtrusive.
And here are your hosts, John Maino and Jim Schmidt.
Alrighty, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Doesn't sound like John Maino. Actually, Johnny's off this morning. What do you think he's doing?
Christmas shopping? Maybe he's buying you that perfect gift.
He better take more than the morning off. Yeah, that's...
Good luck finding that.
Something tells me maybe he is Christmas shopping. But yeah, he's off this morning, so he and I are working together at 4 o'clock today. We're doing that pints for, that's not pints for profits. What's it
Pour
called?
pints for a purpose.
For a purpose.
Wow.
I can't help it. My mind was thinking pints for a profit. No, that's not it. Pints for a purpose.
Oh, Jim, you never change.
And it's for Alzheimer's. So we're going to be pouring beer, and I think $1 per beer or $1 per flight and whatever goes to Alzheimer's associations, and that's at Zimbabwe's?
Zimbabwe's.
Zimbabwe. We're going to Africa, guys.
It's early. Anyway, Shannon Cohen is sitting in, and you've been here before.
I have. Doing something right.
Yeah, you like radio.
I do.
Like, I know when you told me that. I'm like, well, that's. I mean, everybody. Most people just love it for the money, but you actually. No, actually, there's no money in radio. I mean, you actually love it.
I do. I don't know why.
And you were going to go to Brown.
Yeah.
Like Brown, not Brown Providence.
Correct. No, this is Brown College in Minnesota.
And what are they? Is it radio school?
It's broadcasting.
They specialize, but that quickly ended.
Okay. But here you are.
It didn't even start. Yeah, and here, living the dream.
Tell those students over there, hey, take my route. Anyway, welcome. I'm glad. And so Shannon, we know each other quite well. We both work
We're great friends.
I don't know. We're better friends than me and John. Okay, that's a safe statement. We both work together at the new community shelter.
We do.
And we're going to talk a little bit about that later today because we got a great lineup of people. But it's going to be interesting to see Molly come in, and she's going to talk about the day-by-day shelter in Oshkosh.
Oh.
And there's homeless everywhere.
Oh,
people are like,
right.
It's just big cities. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
And what Oshkosh is doing, they do a really good job with their food pantry. Really good job. I'm sure they have more than one, but the one that we've had him on the show a couple times. They've really expanded. Some of these food pantries you go to, it's like, where do you live? Where do you work? That kind of thing.
Right.
This is just open to anybody, anywhere.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It is.
It gives people a little more peace of mind, and they don't feel as awkward.
I know, and anyone is welcome there. So that's really cool. But now this day-by-day shelter, like I said, we're going to get to that at 7 o'clock. But they've really expanded, which is unfortunate, but...
Well, right, yeah.
So
it's unfortunate but fortunate.
Right.
I mean,
so they've gone from 50 beds, I think, to 100, and from 6 months to 365, because homeless people, and that homeless is such a hard word because it's kind of like they're between residents. It's just they're really, really in a tough spot, and that's when they come. But for a homeless shelter to shut down, that's okay. It's May 1st. You're not homeless anymore. It's like, yeah, I am. Right. So anyway, I'm really glad that this day by day, and I want to see what their impetus was to go to 365. And we're going to talk to them. And then we have, speaking of kind of housing, but this is a totally different subject.
But right,
we got the Melkors in, and you live out in the sticks, right? Where do you?
I live in Swamico.
Yeah, that's okay. And we're going to talk about. We talked about where do people want to live? Do they want? What do you have? Half-acre land or something?
Yeah, just like that, but wooded area, very secluded.
Right.
I love it.
Okay, and there's bugs and mosquitoes and all that. We don't have any of that.
But we have deer that come in our backyard.
Wait a minute, you're telling me you don't have bugs and mosquitoes because you live in the city?
Well, not like they do.
I mean, we have a bug guy that comes and sprays.
Well, maybe I don't know. But okay, so it took me 4 minutes to get here today. There's the difference.
It took me like 13.
But here's the thing, and I'll agree with Shannon on this. To be out of this, on your own time when you're shut down from work and you don't, it's really nice to not have to deal with people.
And I have neighbors. I have amazing neighbors.
You have the one we had on here.
Yeah, Bethany.
With the horses.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, we don't have horses where I live.
Well, the horses aren't in our backyard either. Okay. They're at a farm somewhere.
Oh, all right.
But we have deer, turkey, cranes. It's pretty cool.
On the dining room table when we have it. But yeah, that's cool. That's awesome.
You live such a different life
Right?
than the average Joe.
And my kids, I just want to say, and you know my kids, they're all living in the city. And Anna and Robbie had a little bit of an issue with that when they bought a place in Nashville, because there's some places in Nashville you can get outside the city, half hour, 45 minutes, and you get your quarter acre of land. But no, they live kind of downtown.
I mean, I do really love people watching, so that really doesn't happen. I also live on a dead end street, so that doesn't happen as much. Yeah. I mean, because I grew up, my grandma was on Harvey and Webster, right on the corner, and every day we'd sit out on that porch on the swing
and watch the car accidents.
Yep. The beat cops would come by. We'd be like, all right, what's going on? What's happening? So I guess, give and take.
We'll talk about but Ben and Deanna are coming in. I wonder what the trend is, because you read about different things. I mean, the city's putting $70 million into a development downtown here.
Oh.
It's going to be interesting to see, or if people want to live in the sticks, or
is that going up by
right here? Where they took the statues down.
Okay. Yep.
So, yeah, nothing's 100%. All right, and then we have, get this, our next guest after the realtors. You see who's coming in? Elena. You know what she does? She's a trainer. She's a professional trainer. She works at Western Racket and Fitness.
And she trains you, right?
She does. She trains a lot of people.
She's a saint.
She is. She's great. And
right? When she walks in, we're going to hear the heavens open up and go, She'll probably have some sort of halo behind her head.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I invited her to my party because it's the people I work with, and I consider that work over there. I don't enjoy going there. I don't look forward to it.
Nice.
Although I like working here.
There's parties for all the people I don't enjoy in life.
Right.
I enjoy her.
So apparently I'm at the wrong party.
Right. No, we're at the right party.
Yeah. 10 o'clock today, I got to see her. So Mondays. And then, this is going to be this Jenny Yonk, who I'm very familiar with her organization, that Be the Light. That's suicide.
Yeah.
And this is a tough time of year for some people. I mean, we even deal with that over at the shelter. And this can be a little depressing and anxiety. And we talk on the upside about some people are almost in the Christmas spirit, but it hasn't hit them yet. So we talk about they can make a donation that can get you in the spirit. You can go ring bells.
Take a drive and see all the Christmas lights.
See the lights. Go see a show. Go to the Botanical Gardens. We're going to the Botanical Gardens. We're going to go tomorrow night. Did I tell you this, Todd? So I was going to take in a group of people from the community shelter to the Botanical Gardens tomorrow night. I didn't tell you this. So we had a sign-up sheet and got, I think, 14 people were coming. I'm like, okay, so I'll drive, and then Donna can drive a car. And so I called to get the tickets. And the lady's like, oh, yeah, Thursday. It's going to be cold. I'm like, yeah, okay. I said, I've been there many, many times. And she said, can you really brave the 0 degree temperatures? And I'm like, we were homeless. So I was like,
Jim,
we'll take it on. Anyway, they're not open.
Oh.
Tomorrow. I don't know if they announced that publicly yet.
So apparently you're not going?
We're going Sunday during the game.
Oh.
7:20.
Oh.
There'll be nobody there.
Well, that's true.
That's why we're going. I don't want to stand in line.
But don't you like watching the game?
Seattle.
Oh.
I'll be all right. I'll watch the second half. Anyway, so the botanical, we were talking about, though, Shannon, this depression that can come in. And we're going to talk about that when she comes in to talk about the suicide, Be the Light for people. But this can be tough, and people need to make phone calls or keep an eye on things and stay away from alcohol. That, I'm just saying, and some people the majority of people, I think, just really get into it. But that group that doesn't, I think they need to
very unfortunate.
And then taking a drive to look at lights, which we always did when we were kids. You know what I like is when people drive by my house slow to look at my lights. That makes me feel like
you did something right.
Like I'm doing something for the community.
Do you put those lights up?
Yeah, I do it. Everybody asks me that. Why does everybody ask me if I put my lights up?
Because you throw money at everything else. So it would make sense that you'd give somebody, $100 to hang your lights. He actually did, Shannon. He came in Monday, and he was so sore from putting up lights.
I was sore. Proof.
Oh.
You got to carry those bins down,
Up and down. Do you have to do the ladder? Up and down the ladder?
No, I don't do that. I don't get a ladder.
Oh, you don't?
He's Clark Griswold.
No ladder.
Yeah. Do you?
No, I don't do the gable.
Do you
or
bring
anything.
Donna outside and you're like, here we are?
Yeah,
and you go
no,
to...
we don't. It's kind of like we're old fashioned. She does the inside, I do the outside. One of those traditional things.
No,
Although
I get that.
we both helped a little bit on that. So no, talk about getting into the Christmas spirit. A lot of lights are up. Of course, your place, you got to drive from farm to farm. But downtown in the city, you can just drive around the neighborhood and you see all these beautiful lights.
Actually, my husband made a beautiful light show of our house.
Really?
It's got the red and green spotlights, wreaths, and we have our ditch. Our ditch, I know this sounds weird, but he dug it out, and it's actually kind of a little spectacle, I feel like, for the neighborhood. He's got water in summer. We have fish, fountains. He's got beautiful little lights in there, too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Little neighborhood enhancement, little attraction.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, anyway, a lot of ways to get in the spirit, so we're going to do that.
Decorate the ditch.
I wanted to Hey.
What's it used for on New Year's Eve?
I guess I do live in the sticks. My bad.
All right. So, hey, let's talk about some of this.
Yeah.
Today, every day is something. Today's have a bagel day.
I love bagels.
I don't get bagels, really. I mean, why don't they just make them square? Why the hole? To butter them is different. Not put the cream cheese on. I think somebody, I don't know.
Somebody did something wrong.
It's not the most practical.
How do you feel about donuts with the hole in the middle?
Well, that's different because you don't put cream cheese on a donut.
That's true.
It's harder working the bagel, I think.
All right. Yeah.
But they're profitable. I will say I owned a bagel store.
So bagels were first mentioned in the year 1610.
Wow.
So they've been around that long, and you have an issue with them.
So I don't think I'm not the guy that's gonna stop them.
No.
All right. Wow. That's a long time, man. Okay. App day.
How many do you have?
I don't know. That's the app is like on your phone.
Correct.
Where you hit that and it goes right to the web page.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. 3.
Really?
You've got to have more than that. Your texting is an app. Your phone actually calling is an app.
Do you got your shopping app? Walmart, Target.
This is my phone.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's got a lot.
Okay. So all those are
Page
apps.
and a half.
Okay.
All right. Oh, I got that date stamper.
2 or 3.
No, you know what? I got that date stamper. That is cool because I take a picture every day. And then when I look back, it says 5 years ago, 3 years ago. Because you're supposed to journal to keep your sanity, which my kids journal, I don't. But I take a picture every day, which is kind of my journal.
That's cool.
That's kind of cool.
Every day. So, all right, we're going to be right back. We're here with Shannon Cohen, special host today, and Jim Schmidt. We're going to be right back. This is Maino on the Mayor.
Santa's on his way. Hip, hip, hooray for Christmas vacation. Got a ton of stuff to celebrate. Now it's getting closer, I can't wait.
The talk of Green Bay, WGBW.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed. Oh, yeah? Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too. Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Matt Nair on air. This shouldn't be a thing.
Michigan man leads lawnmower chase. I'll stop, says the suspect. Instead, he reaches under the seat and pulls out a gun.
Shoots himself in the hand.
The deputy has his taser trained on him, and yes, he tased him.
I'm not advocating for crime, but boost something that goes faster than cop on foot.
Matt Nair on air. Weekdays 10 till noon on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app.
From the Lake Shore to Lake Winnebago.
Door to Fond du Lac counties.
Northeast Wisconsin is special for many different reasons. I'm Lisa Hale.
And I'm Terry Barr. Family and fun.
Safe communities and friends. We're featuring all of it as part of New Wisco Weekend, a news magazine show just for you, and highlighting what makes the Fox Valley and Green Bay area a great place to live. Join us.
New Wisco Weekend, Saturday mornings at 8, Sundays at 11 on WGBW and WISS and the Civic Media app.
You are listening to your local Civic Media radio station on air. Thank you. Did you know we are always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app too? And if you miss a show or game, find it wherever you get your podcasts or on our website, civicmedia.us.
Out here in the middle of these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on earth. That's how it feels when you're struggling with your mental health. But you don't have to feel alone. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
From Hobart to Bay Settlement.
Let's go get the hose and light the lights. Get a toasted fire.
All right, time to get up there and decorate. It's going to be 9 tomorrow, so today's like the last day, although you got the weekend, but you should get your lights up.
Well, I think
thank you, Brian. Brian, any sarcasm in this latest text? You should see our 6 classy blow-up decorations from Menards this year. Making memories.
Oh, I'm sure they're wonderful.
Okay.
How do you feel about those?
No.
No, we don't do them.
No,
either.
this year I got all white lights.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah. Well, fancy. I just couldn't find any colored ones. Anyway, yes, I got and then Christmas cards. I'm showing to Shannon my text because, so I have 3 kids, husbands, and a granddaughter, and of course a wife.
Milton.
So we're in Milton. He didn't wait, but we're out in New York, took our picture for Christmas cards. We took different pictures here and there and all over the place. Well, so we have to vote on the picture, right? Because family can get a vote. And then for the copy, I write the copy that's in there. It's the only, I don't know how many characters. It's not a lot of characters, so it's like 1 sentence per person.
Right.
And people don't want to read those long letters.
No,
you know,
not
my
at
sister
all.
used to write those, and I never hardly read them. 2 pages about jetting off here and there. No, it's just one, what people are doing, like what's different than last year, right?
Right.
Besides the weight, we don't put that on there. So, but that got caught up in the process because everybody has to review the letter, and that's stuck now.
That's really nice of you, though.
At my daughter's place, and so I sent her a text at 1:38 this morning because I never sleep through the night. You know, I sleep, wake up, go back to sleep. Anyway. So I sent her and I'm like, hey, what's the status of our Christmas card? So she just sent something. Oh, I've been really busy. Well, if you want to take a pass, I'm fine with that. I would prefer they gave me all the power.
Yeah, they know better.
But yeah. Hey, Christmas cards. Michael, you're going to like this too. I know you're coming on in a little while. So Michael's here from Michael Friedman from Simple Life Hospitality. Great organization. And I'm drinking your coffee too, by the way. Thank you for that. Christmas cards. Do you do them?
No.
What?
I know. We have
You got kids. People love seeing pictures of the kids and how they're growing.
I know. It's just stamps are so expensive. I don't have enough time.
What, they're $1? How many cards are you going to send? 50, 75?
Well, my mom has a big family, and so you have to send it to the aunts and all that.
Yeah, you kind of do. You're right. So, and it gets a little bit tricky if they're not on your list, if you forget them.
Right.
So
and then you get their Christmas card, and then you're,
but
shoot.
Hey, I designed, so our card's going to be, you guys will all get one. But I designed a card for Todd Michaels.
Oh.
And this is a great card. So look at him. Headset on, in the background, you can see that reflective WGBW 97.9. And working 2 screens. And then, so it's a picture of him.
Okay.
And then the copy across the top says, "Do you hear what I hear?"
Me.
Isn't that awesome?
That's pretty good.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like one of the most popular Christmas songs there is.
I love it. I do. Todd.
It's not going to happen.
Bah humbug.
It's
well,
the thought that
a
counts.
little bit of that, yeah, a little bit of that. But also, and we learned this last week because we had what's called DISC training, which is where you learn how people respond to certain things. Jim is a high D.
I am.
Oh.
Which means that he has really great ideas.
Okay.
But then actually can't implement them.
I need the I's and S's and C's around to implement my vision, my goals, my desire to get stuff done.
That makes sense.
And the I's, S's, and C's want to tell him where to take that idea.
Oh.
So It's about communication.
It's all about
It's not
communication.
what you say, like your mom used to say it, or your dad used to say it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I have to work on that.
How old are we? You
Yeah,
never,
we're
like you
6.
said in the meeting, Jim, you never change. I don't change.
I just really think, anyway. So that disc profile is a very cool thing. There's a lot of different profiles that you can take of people, and this is 24 questions, and it's amazing what they glean out of those 24 questions. It's incredible how spot on they are. And I've taken this before at other places.
I want to take it.
And Terry should do that with us.
Yeah.
Because we have different personalities there.
Very.
And which is good. It tells you how it, like if let's say you're a high I,
Okay.
which is, I forgot. It's not insecure.
I'm not insecure.
No, I know you're not.
No.
I'm just kidding. High I is, I don't know. I forgot what it stands for.
Incredible.
C might be the creative or curious, and then S might be sensitive or something. Well, anyway, what it does is like if I get your profile, it says, "Gee, Shannon, she's a high I, and Jim, you're a high D, like 98 out of 100 D. So I'm very high D, which is a very good quality to have, by the way. How do we communicate better?
It's like a love language.
A little bit.
Aw.
I didn't see it that way, but a little bit. So, anyway, the disc profile. So Todd, what were you? You're a high I.
I don't remember. It's like an IS or something like that.
Yeah, it's not a D. So the D doesn't stand for demanding, but it stands for
Well, I
like
know what it stands for.
Yeah, I know. But
That's up for debate.
no, I don't think you need. But this is what the guy said. This guy was like some Navy SEAL guy that gave us the presentation. This is what he does for a living. You need all 4 to make an organization work.
This is true.
So,
right.
Since I was the only D, I felt part of the group.
Oh, there you go.
There was somebody else.
You're doing your part.
Teeny tiny part of the group, just sitting there in the corner. Him and Maino doing their morning shtick in the meeting, actually upsetting the Navy SEAL.
Yes.
Do I have to separate you two?
Right, that's what he said. Because they were like, I don't. John's.
That doesn't surprise me with you two.
What he does is he says stuff, but it's not really him. And I, like he says, he BS's for a living. That is not an untrue statement.
All right.
So anyway, he was saying some stuff. I'm like, I don't
Nothing but the truth from Jim
But
here.
yes, yeah. Anyway, so we took the disc profile, and that's an interesting thing. All right. Hey, let's go through. So we got through a Have a Bagel Day. That's today. App Day.
Yep.
Tango.
Ooh, tango.
That's
I'm
more
an
like
awful dancer.
Yeah. Tango.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
Not your
people,
thing.
I don't know. They dancing, right? I mean, just Latin dance, right? That's what tango is.
Something like
Well,
that.
it's a specific dance, though. Yeah.
Like a polka?
Well, like a polka, but
it's a tango.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, this seems more like a waltz.
Yeah, they all
I'll
sound
see if
the
I can
same.
find a
I
good
tango.
tango.
I was thinking of more of the Latin music where it's dun, dun,
Oh,
dun,
no.
Okay, whatever.
And how many more days till Christmas?
Todd, why are you putting up 1? It's 14.
You got
one
minute left. Yeah, he's been doing this job for a year and a half. Still doesn't
I got
know
it.
what the
I thought it was
signals
one day
mean.
to Christmas. Oh my God, Christmas is tomorrow. 14 days till Christmas. All right.
Mhm.
Now, all these people on here, I don't know. So these birthdays, John's better at that, but he's off
Nikki
this morning.
6. Oh, Motley Crue.
Motley Crue.
Oh,
66 today. Jermaine Jackson is 70. Brenda Lee rocking around the clock, rocking around the Christmas tree.
Oh.
Come on, you know her.
Yeah, that Mariah Carey's still number 1.
80. Donna Mills, actress back in the day. She is 84. David Gates from the group Bread. Remember that musical group back in the 70s? 84. Dame Judi Dench, great actress from the UK, is 90. And great dancer, actress, singer Rita Moreno is 93
it's
today.
a very musical birthday.
A lot of old people today. Wow.
Well,
All
I
right.
only picked the ones that you probably know.
Yeah, I don't. As Maino and the Mayor, we're going to be right back. You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home of Maino and the Mayor.
Enjoying this local program? Find the complete Civic Media lineup at civicmedia.us or the Civic Media app.
Well, if you think cars and trucks are the only things autonomous, think again. I'm Pam Yankee with a quick update on what's happening in food and farming news on a Wednesday. Farm tractors are going down that same route. Details on the way.
Innovation, that's BioVet.
Freeing up your time for the holidays is at the top of our list. When you choose BioVet microbial and nutritional products to keep your livestock out of the sick pen and healthy, you'll you'll enjoy more time with your family this holiday season. Many thanks and warm wishes from our BioVet family to yours. Learn more about how BioVet can save you time and money on your farm by calling 1-800-BioVet1 or visit bio-vet.com.
Innovation, that's BioVet.
Brian Luck, University Extension Ag Engineer, says an autonomous tractor could be in your farm's future. He said every tractor right now, they're working on it.
It's kind of a new budding space for equipment companies. There's a lot of companies out there, as far as I can tell, that are sort of startups that are taking existing machines and converting them to autonomous platforms. There's a lot of safety considerations that have to be considered in that realm as well. And it is headed this way. We're not quite there yet. We're not ready to go fully autonomous in the ag production, at least field crops sort of space. But I'd say within the next year or two, it's a real reality that we could be doing that.
Brian Luck, University Extension Ag Engineer, he said while the dairy industry has been using robots to help milk cows for decades, the autonomous tractor, a newer entry to the agricultural realm, he says right now it's all motivated by labor shortages.
Attention farmers and ranchers. The Can-Am Ag and Business Program wants to reward hardworking folks like you. Head to your local Can-Am dealer to find out how you can get extra coverage on top of a rebate of up to $1,500 on select Can-Am Defender and Outlander models. If you've had your eyes set on a Can-Am workhorse, now's the time to get your own. Visit your local Can-Am dealer to add a true game changer to your roster. Certain conditions apply. See dealer for details.
And the Wisconsin State Fair is continuing to solicit farms and homes from across the state that have been in the same family for 100 or 150 years. The Century and Sesquicentennial Farm and Home Award Program will be held Tuesday, August 5th, in conjunction with the 2025 Wisconsin State Fair. Honorees get complimentary State Fair tickets, an invitation to the awards breakfast, a commemorative photo, a certificate, and an outdoor display sign. Applications are due by Friday, March 1st. More information available on the Wisconsin State Fair website or ours, MidwestFarmReport.com. That's MidwestFarmReport.com. Look for the tab. There's your Wednesday Food News Update. I'm Farm Director Pam Yankee.
This is your local civic media radio station. Want to hear even more? Anytime? Find all of it at civicmedia.us.
Light snow this morning, around an inch or less of accumulation possible, then becoming windy with falling temperatures this afternoon. Will be in the teens by late today. Tonight, windy and cold with a low of 2 above and a wind chill in the teens below 0. Tomorrow, sunshine with a high of 11. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently, it's 26.
I'm Dan Schaefer. Let's recombobulate. Big news in Wisconsin this month, as much of the controversial anti-union Act 10 law was struck down in a ruling by Dane County Circuit Court Judge Jacob Frost. 2 takeaways on this. 1, the ruling gets at the heart of what has always made this law so brazenly political, by defining public safety employees differently from general public employees. That decision was pretty clearly made not based on across-the-board policy, but on which unions backed Scott Walker for governor in 2010. It would be fitting if that is what ultimately spells the end for this controversial law. Secondly, this case is headed to an appeal, which almost certainly will end up at the Wisconsin Supreme Court. While this case still might be decided by the court's current 4-3 liberal majority, it's a good reminder of just how important the upcoming race for state Supreme Court will be.
Find all of Dan's work at the Recombobulation area and on our website at civicmedia.us. Pete Schwaba.
On the next Nightlight, I welcome Civic Media Master Discombobulator Dan Schaefer, and Northeast Wisconsin actor Kurt Krause drops by the studio to discuss independent film. Let's light it up.
Nightlight with Pete Schwaba.
For WGBW and WISS News, I'm Lisa Hale. Details are very sparse, but the Oshkosh Police Department says an officer-involved shooting happened last night. Police say they received a call for a stabbing at a home on West 10th Avenue at around 11:10. Officials say the scene is secure and there's no threat to the public. The Wisconsin Division of Criminal Investigation is handling the investigation. No further information has been released. The 87-year-old De Pere fisherman who fell through the ice in the Bay of Green Bay in Swamico Monday evening has died. This is the second ice-related death from Monday. While the temperatures are dropping, officials across the area warn winter enthusiasts that the ice is not uniform and is very dangerous. The Donald Trump allies involved in a scheme to overturn the 2020 election results in Wisconsin could face decades behind bars. Savannah Tomei Olson has the new developments in the fake elector case.
The scheme involved Trump campaign staff and allies. Jim Trupus, a lawyer representing the Trump campaign in Wisconsin, Trump campaign advisor Kenneth Chesebro, and former White House aide Michael Roman. The State Department of Justice says they had 10 Republican electors sign fake documents saying Trump won Wisconsin when Biden had 20,000 more votes. Prosecutors say they planned to give this fake paperwork to Congress so Trump would get Wisconsin's 10 electoral votes. In July, the three were charged with 1 count each of felony forgery. Well, now the prosecutors have tacked on more charges, an additional count for each of the signatures on the fake document. That means Trupus, Chesebro, and Roman each now face 11 felony counts of forgery. Each of those counts could carry up to 6 years in prison and up to $10,000 in fines. Tomorrow is their first day in court. For Civic Media News, I'm Savannah Tomei Olson.
I'm Lisa Hale for WGBW and WISS News. For news anytime, visit civicmedia.us.
All right, don't forget, coming up this morning on Maino and the Mayor after 7 o'clock, your chance to text to win in the Grown Up Gift List Contest. It's a statewide contest with Civic Media. And later on this morning, Jim Schmidt and Shannon Cohen will have today's keyword, so listen in after 7 o'clock for your chance to win. Now, if they want to get ready, Jim, they can actually go download that Civic Media app right now. Get ready, choose WGBW or WISS, and then get set because you and Shannon will have that special word coming up after 7 o'clock.
All right. That's what we're doing. So download the Civic Media app. Super easy to do, and then you will have it. So, okay. Welcome back. This is Shannon and the Mayor.
I love it.
So do I, man. I'm just a girl. Thank you.
What did he just say?
I said, so do I, man. That I meant like meaning that generally. So do I. So I said, girl, female, woman.
Yeah,
my
but
partner.
girls kinda, yeah.
My partner. Yeah, girl's a little demeaning.
Yeah,
isn't
it is.
Because you have a girl, though. I mean,
I do.
You have kids.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry if I offended
It's
you.
absolutely okay.
Because
this is the first time you've ever apologized on the show for offensive.
Ding.
And I as a high D in the disc profile, I have to be more sensitive.
Yes.
So okay.
Jim,
all right.
Jim, I consider her to be a lady.
Oh.
Okay, Michael. All right. Anyway,
says the man who brought you gifts this morning.
Yes. Thank you for that. So, Michael Freeman's in from Simple Life Hospitality. We've talked about his organization. This is an organization based out of Madison, but really have a footprint here in Green Bay. And what they do is they will rent your home. I'm renting my home through Michael because I love his quality service and the fact that they dot all the I's and cross all the T's. I don't have to do all that, and I'm not good at that anyway because I'm a high D. You know, I'm not a detailed person.
I need to know what I am.
D means more like maybe demanding than it does detail. I'll tell you that. So anyway, but it also means you're a super nice guy.
That is absolutely correct.
I kind of added that. Anyway, but Michael knows that I don't know what's the word. I have linens in my house. I don't have a lot of, obviously everybody's had it on the beds, but napkins and all that. I don't know. Grew up with that, like it. He brought me today.
What did he bring you?
Some unbelievable, linen sheets for different size beds, which I have. And it's the stuff that was in
the Fairmont hotels,
right?
Yeah,
Ooh.
really nice linen.
The
so
8,000 thread count, or what?
No, not that high, but it's just a nice thread
That's
count,
awesome.
and it feels good when you're laying on them. So
that's
so nice.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
You're very kind.
My pleasure. My
do
pleasure.
You offer that to? I mean, we're friends. Do you offer that to people who use your service?
Well, it's interesting you asked that question. So with all of our homes in our leisure rental program, including the draft as well, we have a linen program, and what we do is we provide all the linens to our homeowners. They do pay for them, but we've had dedicated linen program. We work with a provider that gives us a proprietary product and service, and they pay for those, and we deliver them, and we put them on the beds. And what's nice about it is what we're going to do for the draft is the same thing, except they're not going to purchase them. They're just going to rent them through us, and we'll put them on the bed, so people don't have to use their own personal linens and things like that.
That's very nice.
So yeah, and then we, excuse me, and then even on our website, We have a little tab that says store. People who come and stay with us who really like the linen and they enjoyed the stay and they love sleeping on that bed, they can actually buy the linens and towels from us.
Wow.
So it gives them an option to do that as well.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
That was a great idea.
It's like the car rentals, right? I mean, Ford Taurus, was that the car they keep? Remember how they just
That's
flooded
a Taurus.
a Taurus? They just flooded every rental with it. And then you drove it. It's like, hey, this is a nice car. And then you go buy it. I mean, kind of what you're doing with the linen
Exactly.
stuff, too.
And you can even buy, I think now, rental cars through certain rental know, agencies. They have their own sales divisions of cars. So, no, we do that.
You got to get people to test it is my point. And that's a great thing that you
Exactly.
do at Simple
Well,
Life.
it's one of those things, Jim, we've talked about that, the owner doesn't need to think about, they want to put their home in the program. They want to make money. They don't want to have to worry about, I have to go out and buy sheets and, so we do that for them and we take care of that process and we have a team that does that. So
and
it's nice.
they even
That's
go
awesome.
above and beyond. So obviously they do the vetting of who's going to stay at your place, and these are the licensings you have to get, and this inspection, and it's a little, there's a lot of detail to renting out your house. And I guess the county, I don't know if they've passed this or not, but if you don't have the proper credentials, they put the smackdown on you for like $22,000 a day or something. I mean, it's unbelievable what the fine is for that.
Yeah, it's substantial, and I think the one thing that when you hire a professional management company, and we've talked about this on the show before, we take care of that for you. Meaning, we help you with it. There's certain things that we cannot do that the homeowner has to do, but we know the nuances. And this isn't true just for Green Bay. This is all the municipalities that we work in, whether it's in the North Woods, all throughout Door County and all the different cities and towns that have rules and regulations and licensing that needs to be completed. So it's a process, but we've done it over and over and over again, and it just makes it easy for the homeowner.
You're the expert.
He is. And on top of that, what we're drinking today, they bring coffee to your house as well for the guests.
Ooh.
Simple Life Hospitality Coffee. And it's good coffee, too.
Got it all.
Yes.
Put mints on the pillows, too.
We could. We could. We're trying to figure out. We actually have a meeting later today to talk about, what are we going to put in the homes for the guests that are staying with us for the draft, because it's obviously, it's Green Bay, but, someone might be staying in it and they're an LA Rams fan.
Right.
So we're talking about, getting draft swag, if you would, and we'll have some really nice things
Cheese.
and features. Cheese, some spotted cow probably in the
There
fridge.
is.
Yeah.
When our kids come home, we do that. Put the mints and the 2 bottles of water. That's just great. It doesn't cost that much more, but it's just a really nice touch.
It's a really nice touch, and it's not difficult, and it's not expensive,
Right.
and it's about the experience that the guest has, and that is so much a part of what we do as a company, not just managing the asset in the home and taking care of it. It's creating that exceptional guest experience, and that's something we do really, really well. We're continually improving it, though, and because we know we're not perfect, and we want to make that better every day and every time we have a guest stay with us.
I have a question. So, what if somebody do you guys provide Wi-Fi? Because I'm sure not all houses have Wi-Fi.
Well, with us, they're required to.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah. So
they don't take every house.
No, we don't take every home. And so in our leisure rental program, all of the homes that we do manage are required to have Wi-Fi. They're required to have certain things, but Wi-Fi is one of them because internet is such a big thing,
right?
For most people, even when they're on vacation, because sometimes they get up and work early in the morning or whatever they're going to do. So they do have to have Wi-Fi, and then all of the locks that we put on our homes are keyless entry. So they're either Wi-Fi based entry locks and things like that. So it's we do have to have Wi-Fi in the homes.
That's awesome.
So tomorrow you're sticking around for the next after the break, but I want to talk about tomorrow a little bit. You are featuring one of your homes on Shadow Lane, that's kind of in the shadows of Lambeau Field, probably why it's called Shadow Lane.
Right.
But you'll take homes anywhere. I think that's important. I think some people are hung up on, I don't live close enough to the stadium. It's like,
well,
dude.
No, this home happens just to back up to Lombardi Avenue. And, see tomorrow, it really backs up to Lambeau Field. It's a great house, and it's a home we rent out for Packer games. But actually, yesterday, we just signed a beautiful home, I was telling Todd earlier, in Manitowoc, right on the lake. It's an 8,000 square foot plus home.
Wow.
A beautiful house that's going to probably rent out for close to $10,000 a night. Yeah. And it's going to go in our regular rental program, but also the draft program as well. So we're really excited about that. And Manitowoc, when you look at it, door to door, 40 minutes.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
really
No.
not far
it's
at
not
all.
bad.
No. Wow, that's a nice home. That's a huge home.
It's a huge
I
home.
think I know what the home. I grew up there, so I'm guessing I know whose
I'll show
home
you a
that
picture
is.
of it
But,
later,
okay,
yeah.
I'm sure I know. Well, that's cool, but I mean, you also rent out 1,400 square foot homes.
We do, yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of great homes here in the Green Bay area, and we're still continuing to get leads every day on people who are interested in putting their personal residence, into our draft program. And we're going to continue to take draft homes up until probably late January. And we'll know more tomorrow. We have the city of Ashwaubenon and some folks
Village.
in Green Bay, the village. Sorry, the village. My apologies. I'm that city guy. I don't know.
Okay with that.
What
I'm
I'm
okay
saying.
with that.
All
right, so the village.
The mayor pounces right away.
the village of Ashwaubenon.
Tonight, Johnny and I are serving this Pints for a Purpose.
And I'm going to be there.
Oh, are
I'm
you?
I'm going to come by and say hi and have some pints.
She was giving us T-shirts to wear.
Yeah.
And she has different kinds of T-shirts. And one of them had Alloway, on the front. And she goes, I don't think you'd like that one. I'm like, you're probably right. So I'm wearing their shirt. They're not Zimbabwe, Zimbaldi's.
Zimbaldi's, yeah.
Zimbaldi's.
Yeah.
Zimbaldi's.
Yeah. Zimbabwe
I know,
Brewing. I think that's in Africa.
I know.
or something.
I've been that close to there. But okay. But we all work together. This draft thing is Greater Green Bay. Everybody's going to win on this.
So I could even do my house in Swamico?
You could, absolutely. And, even in Howard, Swamico, I mean, it's not that far when you think about it. We're hoping to get some updates tomorrow on logistics and how transportation is going to work and parking and all of that. But yeah, absolutely. You're home in Swamico, and as long as it qualifies, it meets certain requirements as far as amenities and different things like that. That we want to make sure our homes have to create that great experience for the guest who's coming in.
She has a dugout ditch.
I heard
that awesome? And I forgot to mention.
I heard that earlier.
And then an outhouse.
There's a bridge.
Well,
we can't forget the bridge.
Over the
ditch.
Okay.
Well, you have a bridge. I mean,
safe.
John wants to put his hut or whatever the heck it is called out in the program, and I don't think that's going to.
Kwanzaa hut thing? Yeah, no, just let him.
A hut.
You just let him talk. He's
$50 you can stay in the hut for a night.
That's hilarious.
A hut.
He'll be fine.
So are there certain? So I have 3 dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So if I wanted to rent my house out, is there something more special I have to do because maybe potentially someone has a dog allergy?
Yeah, it's a great question. So what we're going to do with all of our draft homes, and we do this for all of our regular residential leisure homes as well, we're going to do a deep clean that the homeowner will be required to do before the draft, and we'll probably do those on that Sunday, Monday leading up to the draft where we do a deep clean. And again, making sure that some homes are pet friendly. So if you wanted to make your home pet friendly, we don't know where the people are going to be traveling from.
Right.
And so if someone does want to bring a dog and you want your home to be pet friendly, it can be. Or if you choose not to, we would just make sure the deep clean goes in and make sure that any of those allergens or things that are there are removed.
See, Shannon didn't even have to tell you she lived out in the sticks because it's against the law to have 3 dogs in the city of Green Bay.
Is it really?
Yeah.
They control everything about your life here.
Come on, are you serious?
2, yeah. Oh yeah.
Where did that come? That's like communism.
That's good government. That's
okay.
Working.
But wait,
if you live in the sticks and they'd have to come to the city council, which was weird. That should have been the decision of an apartment head. They'd have to come to the council, and a lot of it was my son went off to the war type thing, and we'd always approve them. But I mean, come on. You really want 4 dogs next to you in a city? I don't know.
Hey, who's going to be responsible for feeding my
Get
fish?
one good dog.
I have fish tanks.
Well, that's that. We haven't crossed the fish tank bridge. We have to. That's a really good one. I'll ask my team today.
We're on it. We're going to be right back. This is Maino and the Mayor with Shannon Cohen and Michael Freeman from Simple Life Hospitality.
.9 WGBW and WGBW.FM.
You're listening to the American Democracy Minute, keeping your government by and for the people. If you follow the American Democracy Minute, you know that until last year, Wisconsin held the infamous title as one of the most gerrymandered states in the U.S. That changed November 5th. Former Governor Scott Walker accelerated gerrymandering of the Wisconsin Assembly, Senate, and congressional maps during his 2011 to 2019 tenure, engineering a 64 to 35 majority in the Wisconsin Assembly and a 22 to 11 majority in the Senate, despite an evenly divided liberal and conservative electorate. In 2023, the GOP was short of a supermajority by only 2 assembly seats. Vetoes by current Governor Tony Evers tried to keep even worse maps at bay, but a conservative Wisconsin Supreme Court ultimately allowed them. But a Supreme Court election in 2023 shifted the ideology of the court, and the court's reconsideration of the Assembly and Senate maps led to new, fairer maps for the 2024 general election. While Republicans maintain control of both houses, fair maps reduce the artificial Republican advantage in the Assembly 54 to 45 and the Senate 18 to 15. Veto overrides of the governor are far less likely, forcing the legislature to compromise on more legislation. The congressional district map, which did not change but is also widely recognized as gerrymandered, gave a 6-2 advantage to Republicans. We have links to local reporting at AmericanDemocracyMinute.org. I'm Brian Beal.
Ho-ho, the holidays are here, and it's time to pick a present from the grown-up gift list with Civic Media's statewide text-to-win contest. Listen while you work for the keywords to text for your chance to win $100 cash, an overnight vacation at Chula Vista Resort, and be entered to win one of the grand prizes, a robot vacuum, new luggage, humidifier, espresso machine, and more on the grown-up gift list at civicmedia.us. Just download the Civic Media app and listen weekdays at 7, 11, 1, and 4 for your chance to win in the statewide contest. Ho-ho-ho!
All right, welcome back, everybody. WGBW 97.9 FM here in Green Bay, 98.9, 98.3 WISS, and of course the worldwide Civic Media app. And it's cold. Well, it's not that cold. It's 26.
It's
No, it's
cold.
going to be like 9 tomorrow. So 26 here in Green Bay, 27 in Appleton, and 25 in our favorite town of Oshkosh. So, hey, join us live and on location tomorrow morning. This is going to be a fun show. That's tomorrow, December 12th, right, from 6 to 9. We're going to broadcast from the Simple Life Hospitality's Field of Dreams house, which is across from Lambeau Field. We're going to give you an inside look at this great party house on 1167 Shadow Lane. So write that down, 1167 Shadow Lane, between 6 and 9 tomorrow morning. Stop in. We're going to have coffee, some donuts, and we got a great lineup of guests. And you can see the house, and you know, you can see, oh, maybe we could do something like this. Maybe we could rent our house for the draft. Maybe we could rent our house all year. Or maybe we could rent this house for a party. So, or for a get-together, I should say. Can't make it before 9 a.m., swing by their open house. It goes from 9 till noon. For those of you who can't make it between 6 and 9, come anytime between 9 and noon. Take a tour. Learn how you can rent your home out for the draft and sign up to win some Simple Life great hospitality gifts. They got a gift card and other awesome prizes. You can also be the first to book the house for the Green and Gold Bash or the draft before someone else grabs it. That's Thursday, so that's tomorrow, December 12th, live from 6 to 9 or from 9 till noon. Michael, that's great you're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, people might be a little apprehensive, you know, so to get out there, talk to you, meet you, I mean, you're a real guy. And
Yeah,
it's
for
just,
sure.
He is a real guy.
well, no, it's not. So much of this stuff is online,
Right.
and people get scared about it. I'm going
Yeah.
to book through this agency or that agency. I mean, you're there. You own the company. This is a great thing for people to stop in at, and I'm sure that helps.
It does. And I think, excuse me, what it does is it gives people a lot of answers to questions about, you know, what ifs. And I think there are a lot of what ifs that people have in relationship to, you know, doing it on their own and things like that. And I think the more people we talk to, you know, individuals do think, oh, I'm going to try and do this on my own. And then they get into it. And, you know, 2 or 3 days later, they're calling us because,
I would
you know,
imagine,
it's one of those things that just, you know, again, it's not complicated. There's just a lot of moving parts to the process. So tomorrow, you know, between 9 and noon, we're going to have the house open. We've done this before, and it's great because people can come in and see what a home decorated looks like that we do for Green Bay Packer games, but what the expectations will be, you know, for the draft as well.
Jim, can I ask you a question real quick? So, like, I mean, you've done a lot of stuff. You're a business guy. You were mayor, all that kind of stuff. What are some things that Michael said to you, hey, we've got to think about this, we've got to think about that, stuff that you totally would have missed out on?
At my house?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have some things there that, like I have a helmet that's signed by Brett Favre, Bart Starr, and Aaron Rodgers.
Ooh.
And I think that's cool. He's like, you might want to put that away. And just some things to, if you don't want it broken, lock it up in a closet. And I have to change a lock on a couple closets because I don't have locks on my closets.
So the entire house is going to be empty because Jim's got it all locked up in his garage.
No, this has been, well, I asked him, because we have 2 cars, and I'm like, should we throw a car in the deal? Will that help? And he's like, nah, that's not really that necessary. And the city, you're going to learn more tomorrow, but they've got a pretty good transit system coming up for the draft, which I think is awesome. Because if I have one concern, it would be, because even on Packer games, a lot of times I'll do stuff during the Packer game because that's a good time to shop around Green Bay. But if you go, an hour before, hour after, it's tough to get around, and that's only 80,000 people, and this is going to be 3 times, maybe 4 times that.
So crazy.
That's why these park and rides that they're looking at, I think those are all really super important. And you want to make sure that the buses run often. Like, you don't have to stand there if you miss the bus that you're standing there waiting for an hour. People don't want to do that.
No,
10, 15 minutes. So I think they've got that pretty well down. We had a guy on, you were on here, Michael, when we talked about, getting your Uber license. You know who made some money on that? It was Bree. We work with and DoorDash, $500 a week. A week.
Yeah.
And DoorDash, they don't get in your car.
Right.
Uber, a little risky, but I mean,
sometimes you don't even have to see him at the door.
DoorDash, right.
Drop and go.
So there's and the Green Bay is going to be great about that. We want to help people, make a little side hustle money during the draft, but there's no bigger side hustle money than renting your home, I think. I've looked at a lot of things.
No, there isn't. And I think, again, there's just a lot of moving parts that people have to consider if they are going to put their home in the rental program for that week. Even if it's going to only be rented, say Wednesday through Sunday, things that they're going to have to do to make their home draft ready. And we've got the list of what that is and how to do it. And we're there to help. And so we're looking forward to it. We're continuing to add more homes. I would say we've got probably well over a dozen now plus that are just coming into the program from that perspective. And we'll continue to add more. And now we are starting to see the guest traffic pick up. So we're excited by that as well.
And and people shouldn't be concerned about it. I mean, it's maybe some minor things. I think the biggest thing, like Todd just said, is you want to, the word is declutter, but anything, you kind of want to make your house a little bit more rentable. And the other thing is that when the city or the county, actually it's the county that's going to do the inspection, carbon monoxide, you need those on every floor, not just one. And not sure I knew that. They're on every floor now. But that was the only thing she said. And I just got it, installed it, had someone install it. Took a picture and just emailed it to her, and boom, turned around and said, okay, you're good. So It's easy to do. And you've got all the advice, and you can do that. So we're going to see you tomorrow, 1167 Shadow Lane. Between 6 and 9, we'll be doing Maino and the Mayor live from that location on Shadow Lane, 1167. And then we have to take off at 9, but you can come between 9 and noon and talk to Michael and his team of people over at Simple Life and get some information on how to rent a home or how to rent your home. So, thanks for doing this.
Thank you so much.
And thanks for the linens, man. That's a great gift. Christmas, I'm going to love it.
We have more surprises coming. So, and for the whole team, not just
okay,
Jim.
Good.
Yeah, just Jim. So.
Sharing is caring.
And Shannon, we'll have him go look at your house. I don't know. But during break, we were looking at Shannon's house. She has pictures of it. Yeah. She has 7 aquariums. She's like, who's going to feed the fish? He's like, you know what? That's a really good question. I think we'll go to the next house. So anyway, we're going to figure it out. We're going to be right back. It's Maino the Mayor Jim. With our special guest, you bet, Michael. Michael from Simple Life Hospitality.
This is the talk of Green Bay, WGBW. Todd Albaugh.
Hey, everybody, join us next time as Up North News radio host Pat Kreitlow and Trygve Olsen, Packer owner and senior advisor at Lincoln Project, is here to discuss. Join us.
The Todd Albaugh Show, weekdays noon till 2.
Hi, it's Jim Schmidt and John Maino from Maino and the Mayor.
Join us live and on location Thursday morning, December 12th from 6 till 9 a.m. We'll broadcast from Simple Life Hospitality's Field of Dreams house across from Lambeau Field. We'll give you an inside look at this great party house at 1167 Shadow Lane.
Can't make it before 9 a.m.? Swing by their open house from 9 till noon. Take a tour, learn how you can rent your home out for the draft, and sign up for a Simple Life Hospitality gift card and other prizes.
You can also be the first to book the house for Green and Gold Bash or the draft before somebody else grabs it.
See you there.
local radio for you and your community. It's Civic Media's mission with stations across Wisconsin. Find your favorites at civicmedia.us. This is 97.9 WGBW Denmark, Green Bay's real news and great conversation, a Civic Media radio station.
ABC News, I'm Sherry. Preston, Luigi Mangione still in jail in Altoona, Pennsylvania. The man accused of gunning down the head of United Healthcare last week in New York City is fighting extradition and is being held without bail. ABC's Aaron Katursky in Pennsylvania has been investigating the 26-year-old's online posts.
Since some of Mangione's internet posts reference dealing with a debilitating back injury, one thing police are investigating now is whether United Healthcare or some other insurance company may have denied a claim.
Google has removed a flood of negative reviews posted for the McDonald's where an employee tipped police off that Mangione was there. People are also selling mugs with the words delay, defend, and depose on them. Those were found on the bullet casings at the crime scene. Israel carrying out nearly 500 airstrikes over the past 48 hours in Syria following the fall of Bashar Assad's government. Pope Francis making his first public remarks about Syria, saying he hopes a political solution can be reached without further conflict. This is ABC News.
The mic. Oh, yeah. So I need you to get close.
Here's a job for the birds. For the 125th year, the Audubon Society is counting on humans to count flying fowl. Here's ABC's Danny New.
Over the next few weeks.
Okay.
Hi, Molly.
We'll have the National
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am good. If you want to, it sounds like your mic is good, so I think we're all checked out. Things should be good from there.
Awesome.
Appreciate you joining us this morning.
Of course.
The only thing I'll have you do is when we actually go on, I'll have you face the camera on Lisa's computer in front of you, just like that, and then you'll be able to see us too.
Got it. Thank you.
When there's summers.
Also, as an Oshkosh resident, I want to thank you for the work you guys do.
Oh, thank you.
Touch the brown snow. Officials say it was caused by the release of a byproduct from the town's paper mill. The brown snow, not toxic, but can be irritating to eyes, skin, and a dog's paws. Heavy rains expected to wash it away. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Get the family out of the house this holiday season and book a private event with us at Heights Pub and Parlor, located at 217 North Washington Street in downtown Green Bay. We provide an unmatched atmosphere where you can soak in the modern elegance of history. With seating for 32 and space for up to 100 guests, let our second-floor parlor and third-story loft treat you to top-notch service from a personal bartender and hand-picked food selections from our kitchen. 2024 dates are booking out fast, so secure yours now. Like and follow us on Facebook or check us out at heightsgb.com to discover more.
Hey, it's John Maino.
And Jim Schmidt from Maino and the Mayor.
Want to stay in the loop with all things Northeast Wisconsin? Sign up for the WGBW weekly newsletter.
Get the latest local stories, updates on the weather, and a special feature from our Maino and the Mayor podcast.
It's your one-stop shop for real news and great conversations in Northeast Wisconsin.
Log on to WGBW.FM today and get signed up.
Real news, great conversations. Sign up today at WGBW.FM/newsletter.
I'm Lisa Hale with WGBW News, your news roundup in quick podcast form. You can find it anywhere at the WGBW website, WGBW.FM.
The Badgers lose again. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Men's college basketball. A bit of a shocker. Wisconsin could not keep up and lost to the Fighting Illini in Champaign, 86-80. Badgers head coach Greg Gard asked if he was surprised how well unranked Illinois played against them.
I think there's a lot of parity across the league. I don't know if there's a dominant team. I haven't seen them all exclusively, but there's a lot of really good teams, but we've got a long ways to go.
The Badgers have now lost 3 in a row. NBA, the Bucks earned a trip to the NBA Cup semifinals in Las Vegas by beating the Orlando Magic at home, 114-109. The Bucks will face either the Knicks or the Hawks Saturday in the tournament. NFL, the Packers play the Seahawks Sunday night. Safety Zane Anderson on what they saw on film in their loss to the Lions in Detroit.
It's frustrating watching some of the film. Just there's some plays out there, just details of where we need to be. So there's some stuff to clean up, but it's 1 week at a time.
At safety Zane Anderson with sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Incredibly underrated actress Linda Cardellini has agreed to join the cast of HBO's DTF St. Louis. The 3-time Emmy-nominated Cardellini joins series regulars Jason Bateman and David Harbour. According to Variety, DTF St. Louis is a dark comedy and will broadcast 7 episodes. The show tells the story of a midlife crisis love triangle where one character ends up dead. Cardellini has been cast in the role of Carol. Harbor and Bateman are also executive producers. The show is currently in pre-production. Jamie Foxx has finally revealed during a stand-up comedy special what his illness was a couple years ago. The comedian who told the crowd how happy he was to be back also revealed what he was suffering from, a brain bleed. Fox went into surgery and says he woke up 20 days later with no idea of what happened. If you want to hear more about Fox's ordeal, check out his comedy special, which is currently streaming on Netflix. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Your news, conversations, and a whole lot of fun. It's all on your local Civic Media radio station or the Civic Media app.
Light snow this morning, around an inch or less of accumulation possible, then becoming windy with falling temperatures this afternoon. Will be in the teens by late today. Tonight, windy and cold with a low of 2 above and a wind chill in the teens below 0. Tomorrow, sunshine with a high of 11. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently, it's 26.
The next New Wisco weekend is going to the dogs and the cats and all things animals. I'm Lisa Hale.
I'm Terry Barr. From Rescues to Why Pets Are Good For You. You won't want to miss it.
Saturday mornings at 11, Sundays at 8 on WGBW and WISS.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay.
Coming to Northeast Wisconsin live from the Civic Media Studios and featuring TV and radio broadcast veteran John Maino, along with the City of Green Bay's longest-serving mayor, Jim Schmidt. This is Maino and the Mayor. And here are your hosts, John Maino and Jim Schmidt.
Hey, welcome back, everybody.
Was that a good? Did I do a good job?
Well, you're getting there.
Oh.
Johnny's off this morning, so Shannon Cohen and I are running the show here, along with, of course, Todd Michaels, our producer, which you can't do it without him, and he knows that.
He's amazing.
I just thought I'd throw that in because it's Christmas. Anyway,
Thank you very much.
Believe me, it's not going to. No. So it's 26 here in Green Bay, 27 in Appleton, and 25 in Oshkosh. Now, but enjoy this because tomorrow it's not going to be 26 and 27 and 25. It's going to be like 9, 10, 9.
Yeah.
And cold.
About 9 degrees.
Cold.
So anyway, hey, what's going on, Shannon?
It's our grown-up gift list text to win
You guys
contest.
going to do that right now?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Go for it. Yep.
On 97.9 WGBW and 98.3 WISS in Oshkosh. Was that
There
a
you
good
go.
John,
That's good.
too?
That's good,
All
yeah.
right. It's your chance to win an overnight stay at Chula Vista Resort in the Wisconsin Dells this hour in our statewide contest.
All right, so this hour's keyword is bells. 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 Download the Civic Media app, find our station, and use the text button at the bottom of your screen to send the keyword bells for your chance to win this hour's prize.
Plus, you can qualify to win one of 8 grand prizes on our grown-up gift list at civicmedia.us.
So once again, use the Civic Media app. If you don't have it, it is app day, so download it now. Get it on your phone and your device. Choose WGBW or WISS. Text the word bells for your chance to win this hour. You got to text that word in before 8 a.m. Otherwise, your next chance to play is after 11 o'clock with Jane Matinaire and Greg Bach on Matinaire On Air. Good luck from everybody at Civic Media.
All right. Thank you, Todd. And we talk about the community that are our audience, right? Green Bay, Appleton, Oshkosh. And they're all great communities. And one of the reasons why is they have great education, low crime rates, great opportunities for jobs. The other thing is that they have great services. And Oshkosh has one of the best with this day-by-day shelter. It's funny, Molly, that today of all days, my co-host is Shannon Cohen. We both work at the new community shelter here in Green Bay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Isn't that she loves radio, and I need the money, so we're here doing. No, I love working here as well. But we both work at the community shelter, and I'm reading about your day-by-day shelter in Oshkosh. I want to talk about that, but first I want to introduce you. Your name is Molly Yates Boots?
Nope. Yatso Boots.
Yep. I'm actually a Green Bay girl.
Hey.
Can I call you Molly from Green Bay? That's a lot easier for me.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a long time, but I actually graduated from Ashwaubenon High School 100 years ago.
There you go. Well, that's a growing little village here in this community, and we love them. Hey, tell me about I know Father Carr's place to be.
Okay.
He was my teacher when I was at Roncalli.
Yes.
A long time, long time ago. Talk about 100 years ago.
Your brother baptized my daughter.
Yeah. So now you run the day-by-day shelter in Oshkosh. Tell me about this. And I tell you what I really want you to talk about, and Shine and I are going to talk about when you went from part-time to full-time. I think that was a great service
needed
to your community, because what hospitals close for 6 months? You know what I mean? This is something that it's year-round. But anyway, all right, day by day, tell me about it.
So we're in our 2011 is when we were established, like you said, as that 6-month warming shelter. And we were in the basement of the old St. Peter's Church here in Oshkosh. And based on the temporary use permit that was granted in the spring of 2011 to open in the fall of 2011, we could allow 25 people to sleep in the basement of that base, or in the basement of the church from October 15th through April 15th. There were members of the community who had tried to get what we have now known as the day-by-day shelter, which is operational 365 days a year for 50 people. That project was tried in 2015 and 2018 and was shut down by local government and the community. So in 2020, speaking of hospitals, I was actually with Aurora, helping them to raise money to build the NICU here in Oshkosh. And in spring of 2020, when the world shut down, and I was told to go back to my dining room table and raise money for Oshkosh there, or for Aurora there, I got a call from the who was the board president, happened to also work at Aurora, from the day-by-day shelter, and he said, I think we need you over here more.
Oh, great.
So I moved to day-by-day shelter in June of 2020. And really, when you think about it, everyone was being told to shelter in place or to go home. And we had no shelter in Oshkosh. So Father Cars, which we work with a lot, is actually, I think they're defining themselves as a lifestyle enrichment center now, not a homeless shelter. And they're run just a little differently than us, but we absolutely make referrals there. So without the day-by-day shelter being open in the summer, there was no place for people to go.
All right. So part of your job, besides raising money, and it costs money to run a shelter because you obviously can't charge people for being there. They don't have any money. But so you got the permit for year round.
Yep. So
I just want to know. So you got that, and then you did the expansion at the same time.
Right. So in June of 2021, we broke ground, or June of 2022, we broke ground. In May of 2023, we opened the new shelter.
Oh, well, congrats.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So who is at your shelter? They single people, families, men, women, 18
So
kids?
we are 18 and over. We are a low barrier shelter, which means that we do not discriminate against anybody who enters our shelter. So you can have a previous conviction. You can have just come from prison. Our mental health institutions here in town. We have many people who are battling addiction, many people with some mental health issues. But then we also have people who have just really fallen down on luck. We've seen in the last couple of years since we've opened our new shelter, a real increase in those who are experiencing homelessness that are 55 and over. So right now, and any given night in the shelter, we're at about 20% of people sleeping in the shelter are seniors. So many of them who have just lost their homes in the last couple of years had to choose between whether or not they wanted to afford groceries, keep their vehicle, or remain in their homes. And they chose food and vehicles over their homes. And so that obviously presents a whole new group of issues such as diabetes. We have people with some health issues in the shelter as well.
All right. We have about 118 people at our shelter.
Okay.
How long are they there? Is it what did you call it? It wasn't called a shelter. What was it? I forgot.
Low barrier?
No, it was low barrier, but what do you...
Warming.
No, you called it a warming shelter.
Warming shelter,
Right.
but we're not anymore.
What do you call yourselves now?
Just a shelter.
Just a shelter. Okay. I
Mhm.
was looking for something else.
Not just.
So do the people stay for years? Is it temporary? Do you have time limits? Is there, do they have to be doing something to stay there? Tell me a little bit more about, and do you have a waiting list?
Yeah. So right now, as of yesterday, we had about 50 people on the wait list. So we're run very similar to Green Bay, Fond du Lac, Appleton, because when we opened this year-round shelter, we did utilize the resources that had already been built in by, obviously our neighboring communities, and that's really best practice for running a year-round shelter. So a lot of the same things that Green Bay, Appleton, Fond du Lac is doing, we're also doing.
Great.
So people are allowed. I mean, we have our success story that just went out for our year-end appeal. That gentleman was in our shelter for just around a year, but was working on his sobriety, working a full-time job. And until we could find him stable housing, putting him back on the streets does not make sense, right?
Right.
And so people can stay in our shelter for a long time if they are making forward progress and we feel like it's the best place for them to be. Our average stay is 25 nights, which is weird to me because I feel like people are there for a lot longer, but our average stay is 25 nights. So we do get the people who just come in and use us for
one night. That's
right.
Yeah, you should have more the mean than the average.
Yeah.
What the people, what has surprised you the most? I don't want to plant this, but how about finding affordable housing?
Yeah, well, that's part of the problem, right? So once we get them in order to help them find a place that will rent to them is always the struggle. So that sometimes is where we get that time gap. We have full-time people in our shelter who work just doing that. So we have a programming team of 2, a full-time case manager, social worker, and then also a full-time health and human services coordinator. Okay. And again, like I said, with that increase in older adults, our full-time health and human service coordinator really helps establish medical help and support. So we establish primary care, specialty care, transportation to and from appointments, prescription follow-up, all of that stuff. And then our full-time social worker / case manager works with the people who are staying in the shelter all day long. They schedule appointments all day to come in and just help with exactly what you said. Get those rental agreements set up, job applications, those type of things.
So you were in healthcare at Aurora, which is a great organization. Really throughout our whole listening area, they're good everywhere they are. What surprised you the most though about homelessness? Like I know you read about it, you heard about it, you probably know a little bit about it, but now that you're in it, anything that was like, wow, like did the age, did the stories, or was there something that really jumped out at you that you didn't know?
I think our perception of it is so. I think what people perceive homelessness to be is not what it is.
Absolutely.
And
people who work in it will say that.
Yeah, and I think people want it to be a one size fits all. Like, just stop doing this or just get rid of this and it'll all go away. And that's not what it is.
No. Hey, Molly, I want you to stick around. I want to talk about how we can get involved and help a little bit. We're going to go to a quick break. All right, we'll be right back here with Molly from Day by Day Shelter in Oshkosh. This is Shannon and the Mayor.
Play your love songs all night long.
From Ashwaubenon to Alloway, this is 97.9 WGBW.
Welcome to Staples.
Help! My family's in for the holidays and I need gift ideas.
That's why we're here. Staples has amazing deals on everything you need. Photo gifts, laptops, and gaming systems. Even custom holiday cards and shipping solutions to send gifts to the family that can't make it.
Perfect! Have anything for Uncle Frank? I love him, but the guy is never quiet.
Noise-canceling headphones. For you.
You get it.
Unwrap huge holiday savings at Staples. And right now at Staples, save up to $350 on select computers. Ends 12/28, in-store only.
Join Lou Rugani for the Music of the Stars every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. until noon. Lou brings back the nostalgia from the golden age of radio with the music, drama, and comedy shows that made radio magic. Music of the Stars is sponsored by Lakeland Care, providing personalized support that aims to improve quality of life and maintain independence for elders and those with disabilities. It's the Music of the Stars, Sunday at 7 on 97.9 FM and 1590 AM WGBW, Talk of Green Bay.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With limited incomes not keeping up with the lingering effects of inflation, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
For you.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Mine on the Mayor with Shannon Cohen sitting in because Johnny's off this morning. And we're talking with Molly. Shannon, help me out. Yatso Boots. Boots.
Yeah. We're so close.
Mind if we just play Molly?
Okay.
All
Yes,
right, Molly.
Molly.
All right. Day by day shelter in Oshkosh. And pretty interesting story. She said they started off as like a warming house, 25 beds, 6 months a year, and now they're all in. 365, 50 beds, and great programming. Hey, I just got a text that somebody, just obviously a listener, that said Father Carr's a great organization too.
It is.
And that we don't, I guess they collected some cash from the holiday parade for them. So
Nice.
yeah, isn't that nice that
Yeah.
we all got to
and
work together?
We do. So we work directly. So we have relationships with Father Carr's and Cots here in Oshkosh. And the awesome thing about all of us who work together and we communicate all the time, if somebody comes to Day by Day and we feel like they're a better fit for one of those two other organizations, we make that direct referral right away.
Right.
So if somebody is a better fit for Father Carr's, we will try to get them in there right away. So yeah. In fact, we just talked about one of our guests who's in shelter right now that we really want to try to work with her to get in there ASAP. So yep, we're making those
making moves. That's awesome.
making moves. Yes.
And that's important because we, even at the new community shelter, we have I want to call it a market, but I mean, but if families, there's other places for that. And for single women, there's better places for that who have a child or are pregnant.
And elderly.
There's better places, but we're great. We're just a great place. And if you're over 18 and you're female, male, and you want to get out of homelessness, that's what we do. And we do it really well. Hey, how can people get involved with Day by Day, and what can we do? And I'll make a huge assumption that you could always use money.
Yeah. 365 days a year. And now we have a lot of holidays coming up. So like we're open. So we open at 6 p.m. Christmas Eve night. And then we don't close again until 8 a.m. on December 26th. So all of those employees, I'm so grateful for the people that we have working for us, and they've got such good hearts. And, but they want to get paid, and we pay them double time on the holidays. And so that all costs money. And and so it costs about $1.27 million to keep us operational 365 days a year, including, some of the things that people don't realize that we do. We provide 1,825 gallons of milk each year, about 1,100 boxes of cereal, about 36,000 cups of coffee, 11,000 pieces of fresh fruit. I mean, those are just examples of things that we supply from a shelter. We have a food fund. It's called our Give a Meal campaign, and people can give directly just to support having food at the shelter. We provide the community, which is amazing. I would say probably 80% of the days of the year provides a warm meal, which means that people from the community come into the shelter each night and serve a really nice, warm, generous meal to everyone there. And then the shelter, we provide that continental breakfast type meal every morning. So we do, even though the community does provide those meals, we do still have some expenses. And like I said, about 80% of those nights are filled, which we are so lucky to have that type of community support. But there are always those nights, like for instance, 4th of July, where no one wants to come in and serve a meal because everybody wants to be enjoying that holiday with their family. And that is completely understandable, but it costs us about $275 to $300 for that evening to do something like order pizza, or we have Rodney's Cafe come in and provide amazing meals to the guests, and he only charges us $5 a person. And so we just have that little slush fund of money that we can pull from there, because we provide the most basic of needs, which is shelter, food, and showers. So.
Right. So tell me, someone who wants to get involved, either with their time or with their treasures, website, your contact, give me some information if people want to get involved with Day by Day, which is super important to the success of Oshkosh.
Yeah. So our website is daybydayshelter.org. And they can reach out to us there. All of our emails are on there and everything, or stop by during the day. Generally, our administration team is there Monday through Thursday during daytime hours, but then we all work at night as well. So Fridays is a little bit more sporadic, but our team of shelter employees also arrives at 4 p.m. every day, and then they are there until the following morning at 8.
So you're on Main Street. Where you say stop by? Where's your location?
I can see us from here. We are just right over the river. We are on the corner of Seepy and Broad Street in Oshkosh, across from the Leach Amphitheater.
All right.
420 Seepy Avenue.
Okay. That's awesome.
Wonderful.
Well, thanks for what you're doing. And, you know, like I said, Shannon and I kind of work in the same industry you do. And it's very rewarding, but boy, do we need the community to help.
We need, exactly.
Yeah. And the holidays are such a special time to be involved at shelters. I can't say enough about just even providing hat or mittens or a gift card or something like that. You know, stop by the shelter and drop those things off. We will make sure that people get them on Christmas Eve, and it really is it is a special time for people to be involved at shelters.
And on this show, we've been talking about the holidays and the holiday spirit, Christmas spirit. You feeling it, not feeling it, that whole thing. And boy, to do something for a shelter can really put you in the Christmas spirit.
Absolutely. It's a great feeling.
And they needed, and we talked to, I lead a discussion at our shelter and was talking to them, I remember last year, about Christmas. And some of the people in there, I'm not kidding you, they said this is the best Christmas they had. You know, they got people who care about them. They can feel it. I mean, we really do care about them.
Right.
They're safe.
Yeah.
They've got meals, you know, just like we learned in school, right? Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You know, you got to have the shelter, you got to have the food. And they were like, look, I'm really looking forward to next year. You know, and now many of them are out working and paying taxes, and it's just great. So
yeah,
anyway.
we had a participant help decorate the Christmas tree last year, and she cried so hard, and she said that she was in her 30s, and she said that it was the first time that she had ever decorated a Christmas tree.
Right.
Her family never had one. And we just had the best time. So, yeah.
Isn't that nice? Well, thanks
so
for what
amazing.
you're doing. I mean, this is so great, Molly, that you're doing this and that you've got such a great community. So Day by Day Shelter in Oshkosh. Give us your website one more time.
daybydayshelter.org.
All right. Well, Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for what you're doing.
Christmas,
Molly.
guys.
All right, take care.
Thank you
All
guys
right.
as well. Bye-bye.
You bet. All right. Shannon the Mayor will be right back.
To the talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home of Maino and the Mayor.
This is your hometown radio, refreshed. keeping you informed, entertained, and connected locally across the Civic Media Network.
Well, we got a World Ag Supply and Demand report out yesterday, and the U.S. Department of Agriculture sees more corn exports in our future. I'm PM Yankee, starting you off before the opening bell on a Wednesday morning. Quick look at what's happening in agribusiness news. John Heinberg, market advisor with Total Farm Marketing out of West Bend, says that's fine as long as the geopolitical situation globally stays safe.
You can watch the geopolitical side of things. Obviously, we got some events in Syria that are concerning, and what's happening there. Does that come into play in terms of the Black Sea and the movement of grains through that area? So that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. But right now, at least things are kind of flowing. Seems like Panama Canal's working fine. The Mississippi River is working fine, at least in terms of water levels compared to where we were a handful of months ago. So at least at this moment, things are moving fairly nicely. But obviously, those geopolitical events, especially this time of year, can be very shocking to the market as trade gets a little bit thinner, and the market will be watching them very, very closely.
John Heinberg, market advisor with Total Farm Marketing out of West Bend. Yesterday's World Ag Supply Demand report also found greater use of corn in ethanol and lower ending stocks. Not much to report as far as the soybean side of that report. So did it influence the numbers that we're dealing with on a Wednesday morning? We'll check that out next.
Did you know you can build a water and nutrient superhighway in your soil? You just need the Maximum Acre solution from Sound Agriculture. The easiest way to maximize your crop's access to nutrients all season long. How does it work? First, Source turns your soil into a nutrient factory, activating microbes that supply nitrogen, phosphorus, and micronutrients. Then Blueprint builds the delivery network. It provides a beneficial fungi called AMF, a powerful biological partner that plants rely on for macronutrients, micronutrients, and water. When used with Source, Blueprint expands the crop's reach beyond the roots, helping it access nutrients and water when they're needed most. For the Maximum Acre solution that leads to bigger, healthier, and more productive plants, source it with Blueprint. Talk to your dealer or visit sound.ag.
Fairly quiet on the dairy front yesterday. Barrel cheese on Tuesday was down 1/4 cent, 168 3/4, while the AA butter and the 40-pound block cheese both stood still. So on a Wednesday morning, right now, we've got March corn unchanged, $4.49. December new crop up a penny at $4.43. January soybeans are down 1.5 pennies at $9.93, with November beans unchanged at $10.10. March wheat, 1.5 pennies higher right now at $5.63. July new crop up 2 at $5.79. The January class 3 milk that goes into cheese down 7 right now, $19.18 a hundredweight. Just a quick Wednesday market snapshot. I'm PM Yankee.
You can always continue the conversation on social media. Share your thoughts when you find and follow Civic Media on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
Light snow this morning, around an inch or less of accumulation possible, then becoming windy with falling temperatures this afternoon. Will be in the teens by late today. Tonight, windy and cold with a low of 2 above and a wind chill in the teens below 0. Tomorrow, sunshine with a high of 11. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Temperature now 24.
The Todd Alba Show.
Kash Patel, who Trump has nominated to be the head of the FBI, saying he wants to basically shut down the main parts of the FBI. Bill Barr, MAGA Republican Attorney General to Donald Trump. Quote, the very idea of moving Patel into a role like this showed a shocking detachment from reality, unquote. This is not the left calling out Patel. This is the right.
The Todd Alba Show. Weekdays noon till 2 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. The Maggie Dawn Show.
We know what happened the last time Trump applied this ham-fisted tariff policy. He had to write a $12 billion check to farmers because he crushed so many of our agricultural exports and drove up the cost of single-family homes because the cost of lumber from places like Canada went way the frick up. Everything got more expensive.
The Maggie Dawn Show. Weekdays from 2 till 4 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the Civic Media app. Dom Selvia.
Next time, I'll be joined by Matt Rothschild. Are Americans paying more than ever for their health care? And Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg not yet ready to drop the Trump case because president-elect immunity does not exist. Tune in.
The Dom Selvia Show.
For WGBW and WISS News, I'm Lisa Hale. A man who police say faked his own death and then fled to Europe is now in custody. That's according to Vine, an online victim notification network. They say 45-year-old Ryan Borgwart was booked into the Green Lake County Jail just before 5 p.m. Tuesday. Borgwart was reported missing in August after a kayaking trip in Green Lake, prompting local, state, and federal officials to spend months looking for the man that they thought had drowned. In November, police announced they thought Borgwart faked his death to be with a woman in Uzbekistan. Borgwart later made a video proving he was alive and well. The Green Lake County Sheriff's Office is holding a news conference on the topic today. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers has announced the state's outdoor recreation industry had another record-setting year. According to the press release, outdoor recreation in Wisconsin contributed over $11 billion to the state economy, a nearly 10% jump from its contribution in 2023. Multi-use apparel and accessories and motorcycling and ATVing led the growth, with each category generating over $1 billion of economic impact. Boating and fishing generated the third most impact at $928 million. Children's Wisconsin, including the location in the Fox Valley, has new policies for visitors starting today. Officials say the policy change is part of its viral season precautions. The updated policy will only allow visitors ages 12 and older. Only 4 people are allowed at the patient's bedside, except in the Fox Valley NICU, where only 2 people are allowed bedside. And each patient is limited to a fixed list of 6 approved visitors throughout their entire stay. I'm Lisa Hale for WGBW and WISS News. For news anytime, visit civicmedia.us.
All right, don't forget, you've got until 8 o'clock to get that keyword in the grown-up gift list contest, statewide contest with Civic Media. Your chance to win an overnight stay this hour at Chula Vista Resort in the Wisconsin Dells by downloading the Civic Media app, choosing WGBW or WISS, and texting the keyword BELLS, B-E-L-L-S. That's how you spell bells. Text that in right now. You go to qualify for the overnight stay at Chula Vista, but also you could win one of 8 grand prizes. You can see those prizes on the grown-up gift list at civicmedia.us. The word is bells. You got to text it in before 8 o'clock. Maino and the mayor this morning, Jim Schmidt and Shannon Cohen.
All right. Thank you,
Welcome
Todd.
back.
Todd, did we not do our job? All of a sudden, we're talking over here, and all of a sudden I listen, and you're reading all our parts.
Listen, somebody's got to do the work.
That's right. Sorry. All right, we'll
Good.
get it at the break. We'll read that again if you want. So we are here with some of our favorite guests, Ben and Deanna Melchor. As you know, they are the go-to real estate people. Melchor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services here in Green Bay. Welcome. You guys were gone. You're down in Florida for a little while.
We went to Florida for Thanksgiving. A
Yeah.
little bit different than New York, for sure.
Yeah.
A little
it's,
warmer.
It's also
A little
nice
warmer.
to be right here as well. So,
It is.
But
It
what's
is.
important is getting the
You know,
family together.
It is, and that's exactly why we went. This was the first year, our son's out in Portland, and he couldn't come home, and I'm like, I can't do the same thing,
Right.
missing
Right.
one
The empty
person.
chair, no.
Yeah, I just was too heartbreaking for me. So the rest of us went to Florida.
That's nice.
How's he doing in
We'll
Portland,
get
by
over
the way?
it.
Is he doing all right?
He's doing wonderful. He found
Yeah.
a restaurant that he loves working at. I don't think he loves working at as much as Blue. He was at
Yep.
Blue here
Oh, yeah,
in
yeah.
town, and
Mm-hmm.
that is turned out to be just an amazing job for him. But he did find a place that's at like a seafood market, so he's kind of it's got kind of a different flair. So he loves learning new stuff.
Oh,
so.
yeah, that seafood market. Well, it's awesome out there, right?
Yeah.
Washington is politically a different state.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
there's a big merger going on between Albertsons and
the Kroger.
Kroger.
Oh,
That
yeah,
isn't.
yeah.
If you shop out there, those are the two stores, right?
Sure.
I mean, it's just
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
And they're like, oh, they're going to block that. That's too much. It's a monopoly. And but I guess it's going to go through. But the governor said it's not going to go through in Washington. It's like, you really can't do that.
Yeah.
Federal government, it kind of supersedes the state.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he needs to go back to school, I think. But maybe it's true. Maybe he can. But can you prevent a merger in your state? Anyway.
I don't think so.
So do I.
Yeah, I don't think so.
That would be a really
On a
weird
state
concept
level.
to have it
Yeah.
merged everywhere else but a certain, couple states.
It's just the other thing I want to get to you and your great real estate, all the things we have going on, but something else about Washington. Washington has a law that right to die law,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
very
Oh,
interesting.
okay.
And a friend of mine went out there because he was very sick and had a party and took his friends to the symphony and picked the date. This is the date I'm doing it, and drank the Kool-Aid. And you have to do it by yourself. You can't have somebody inject it or anything.
Oh, okay.
And so I have another show called Lean Local with Jim Schmidt, and I interview different, education, economics. We're doing economics this week, but I brought on some state legislators and asked them about that.
Right.
What do you guys think about that? Because if someone wants to do that, it's really not assisted suicide as much as it is that 2 doctors sign off on it. You've got this. It's not going to get better. You pick the date. And that's just, and anyway, you have that out there. Your son's state has that. Washington has it, and we don't. And I don't know. I think it's a.
Well, he's in Oregon.
Oh, he's in Portland.
Yeah,
he's
he's in Portland.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
I was just going to ask you if you knew where Portland was.
Yeah, I do. I've been to Portland. That's big Nike. I've been to Portland. It's not that far from Seattle.
Yes.
I've driven from Seattle to Portland. Okay.
I'll take geography for
Olympia.
200.
I know. Olympia. How's that? Capital. I know that.
No,
All right.
but you
Okay.
know what? I will say we do need to find something else. No matter what you believe, the end of life for Americans is. It gets to be kind of sad sometimes, and not having the choices out there. And I just don't think that we focus on it like we should. So no matter what side you're on, we clearly need something better.
But before we get to the home in heaven, let's talk about the home here,
Yeah,
right
that's
on earth,
right.
and that's where you guys come in. So what's going on in your world? Real estate a little different in the winter, or
little different in the winter? Yeah. I mean, things do, much like the weather, cool down a little bit, but conversely, it's a lot of, the people who are out there, they're serious.
Yeah, the buyers.
They're serious buyers.
They're not, people aren't window shopping in the winter. It's too cold, the
right.
snow, everything going on. So buyers are very dedicated. They need to find a house. They don't want to spend all winter like maybe they did all summer because it's not big of a deal. They don't want to spend all season in the cold looking at homes. So I think they're a little bit I think you see homes turn over a little faster because not only is there lower inventory, but buyers are more dedicated.
Makes sense.
ready to make a decision, right?
That's
it's
right.
winter. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not going out of this warm house to
Oh, I
look
know.
at another house
You
unless I'm
think
going to buy
about it. You especially when it snows. I mean, when we do showings, it's like you've got your boots on. You never know if it's going to be, plowed and shoveled, which is one thing. If you are going to sell in the winter, make sure you have somebody do that.
Yeah.
But you wear boots. You got to take them off at the front door. Everything's wet. We feel like we've got to dry it. It's a lot of work to look at homes during the winter. So buyers are dedicated. They don't want to be doing that all winter long.
And the Melcor Group, you guys are on top of it, and I'll talk about some of your listings. But before I do, how has that transition been with buyer agency? Is everything good? Because remember we talked a little bit about you were on here a couple weeks ago, well, more than that. But I don't know, Shannon, the rules, not really laws, but the rules have changed. Where I used to kill a Sunday and just go look at homes and stuff, and it's a little bit different, right? Why don't you explain how that's going?
So essentially, in order for a realtor to show a home, they have to have one of two things in place with those buyers: either a pre-showing agreement or pre-agency showing agreement, or a buyer's agency agreement. Buyer's agency is a little bit more of a bond with the buyer. I would say maybe you're to at a comparison, maybe you're engaged or married to those buyers until you find a place.
More of a commitment.
More of a commitment
on both sides.
On both sides. Whereas the pre-agency showing agreement it's a permission slip.
Right.
It's a permission slip to go out there and see
it's
homes.
basically just it doesn't declare how you're representing them. It's just giving us as agents the right to show you that house.
And you're the experts, but I did pass my test.
Good for you.
You sent me that information. I just took it online. Yes.
Good.
And you have to take it by tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow's
14th. Is that what is today? The 11th.
Today's. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know when you have to take it by. You have to get everything turned in by the 14th.
Right. So I'm good for another 2 years.
Yeah, you're good.
But not a lot has changed, but that has changed.
Yeah.
It's still condo documents in 10 days and all this other stuff that you kind of know, especially if you sell. But I'm not great with the whole rural part of life. And so I had to rehash that a little bit.
I think we mentioned it last time, too.
The oil tank is.
In the state of Wisconsin, we're really lucky because it isn't a huge change for us. They added in, other than having to have that document signed prior to showing a house.
Yeah.
That's really the only change for us. We have got an amazing Realtors Association in Wisconsin. So we have had great forums. We've had great information to pass on to our clients. So this is for us in this state has been a, a very minor change.
And some people, you really want to get a good realtor now, because I think when real estate was really, really hot, a lot of people were in it, and it's panned out a little bit. I mean, I read some numbers where some people are like, you know what, I was a part-time realtor, I'm going to try something else. And I don't know what Maino's doing. I got to be honest with you, because he was a realtor, and I said, dude, if you're going to get your license renewed, maybe he's doing that today. Maybe that's where he is.
That could be it.
That could be it. But I don't know if Johnny could get that done in 4 hours. No, I
know. Yeah,
Has anyone
you have a
called
busy
into the
night.
show?
I
Is
told
he
him I'd
called
help
in?
him. No, he's out. I don't know. Maybe Shannon thinks he's Christmas shopping, but anyway, we're going to see him at 4:00 today, because we are going to be at Pints for a Purpose.
Yeah, it's in Baldy's.
Yes.
Did I see that
Yeah.
right?
They were
Nice.
in here
Awesome.
yesterday. That is a cool place. It's
Yeah.
in Baldy's.
It
I mean,
is.
Dr. Chen, he's the Jeopardy guy, ran the tables, you know, in Jeopardy. He had his watch parties there.
Oh, is that right?
Nice.
It was a blast.
Well, I'll tell
Nice.
you, great. Gallagher is moving right down there too.
Oh, man,
what
that's
a
the
perfect
best.
spot.
My
So
God.
I was talking to the lady from Zimbaldi's, one of the owners, but I tell you what, when I was over at City Hall, sometimes I get a little stressed out. Maybe it was sometimes when you get stressed out,
A lot
you can
on
be-
your shoulders,
you can
maybe?
be you can a little bit crabby once in a while, and they would pitch in and get me a meat lover's pizza, 'cause they know that's my comfort food. You know,
Yeah.
give them one of those, and that'll shut them up.
Hey,
so.
have you ever had a Euro pizza from Gallagher's?
I'm really the meat lovers. Is you call?
that's it.
If we call them, oh hi Schmitz, you know, it's one of those things.
They've already got you.
So that's a good one.
That's a good one. I mean, you have
the
to
Euro
love
pizza
Euros
there
in
is-
if you like Euros, you will
I do.
love that pizza.
All right, I'm in.
Yeah, it's
Me
just
too.
different. It's kind of different, like, if you are at Jake's, they have that Reuben pizza.
Yeah.
Amazing. So it's just different like that. You don't expect it, but it's really good.
And that is the number one fast food. I mean, everybody's like, oh, it's hamburger,
Pizza.
McDonald's. It's pizza.
It's
hands
pizza.
down.
Oh, unquestionably.
Honestly,
that's our easy button.
Do you-
in the evening, what do you want to
But you
eat?
sometimes-
It's the sort of pizza.
Don't you sometimes wonder how they're making money? Because they're not
I
crazy
know.
expensive.
Yeah.
We, New York's. Well, I don't know. It's all
I
relative.
feel like it's expensive.
Opinions vary.
But
I know.
I will tell you that New York pizza, which I think our pizza's better, but that's expensive.
Yeah.
But everything out there's
Yeah,
expensive.
yeah.
It's probably think it's a good deal. Anyway,
Yeah.
so selling in the winter is listing your home with you guys with the Melcor Group, or it's a good time because it's serious time.
It's serious time. There's less competition. So many people wait for spring. And I think, especially now with the draft this year, I think we're going to see that even more.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be a lot of competition after that draft. So getting your home listed in the winter before it, I think, is key.
I think the draft is akin to the election. People are going to
Yeah.
wait.
Perhaps.
I know.
And then the floodgates are going to come
Well,
open.
it's so exciting, and who knows what is. I mean, none of us. I don't even think I can put it into perspective yet.
Yeah,
That's why I'm
I
so
don't-
excited just to take it all in.
Right.
It's going to be fun.
I think we're going to be amazed at
Yeah.
how many people are here. I mean, it's just going to be shock.
Yeah.
And we just, this isn't going to happen again. And
No.
I just hope we really, really take advantage of being on the world stage for 4 days or 5
Yeah.
days. There's people who are going to be watching this, that a lot of people in the United States, but there's people from all over. I mean, the NFL is trying to, obviously become, branch out a little bit more and play in different countries. And I just think Green Bay's got a great opportunity with the education that we have here. I hope NWTC gets featured somehow. I just, because I teach there, but they really serve a real need in Wisconsin. And I think that's a great institution. So many of them. Healthcare is great. We'll just see if we can't get the
just the people.
Melcor group plugged in somehow.
That's
Hey.
right. That's right. we're just hoping it's nice so we can bike over, because I don't know that I want to be driving, during the mess.
Or taking your snowmobile.
That's
I mean,
right.
we've had
we
some,
don't. We don't have one of those, so we'll have to get snow tires.
Anyway, let's talk about when we get back. We got to go to a quick break.
Yep.
Some of the listings that you have, because I think people, their minds are maybe a little bit on the holidays or year-end bonuses, that kind of stuff. Kind of trying to wrap that up, but you have some unique listings, and I think that's great for people to take a look at. So, all right, stick around. This is Shannon and the Mayor with the Melcor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. We'll be right back.
Father wears his Sunday best. Mother Mother's tired, she needs a rest. The kids are playing up downstairs. Sister's sighing in her sleep. Brother's got a date to keep, he can't hang around.
Listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for the Maggie Dawn Show.
Brr, the weather is getting chilly, so come warm up indoors at Heights Pub and Parlor, located at 217 North Washington Street in downtown Green Bay, and enjoy a relaxing atmosphere, friendly service, and delicious food. Grab a signature panini or prime Angus burger for lunch, have dinner with friends and a featured entree, or stop by for after-work drinks during happy hour. And don't forget to book your holiday party or special event in our private upstairs parlor, as 2024 dates are filling fast. Like and follow us on Facebook or head to heightsgb.com to learn more.
I'm Dan Schaefer. Let's recombobulate. Big news in Wisconsin this month, as much of the controversial anti-union Act 10 law was struck down in a ruling by Dane County Circuit Court Judge Jacob Frost. 2 takeaways on this. 1, the ruling gets at the heart of what has always made this law so brazenly political, by defining public safety employees differently from general public employees. That decision was pretty clearly made not based on across-the-board policy, but on which unions backed Scott Walker for governor in 2010. It would be fitting if that is what ultimately spells the end for this controversial law. Secondly, this case is headed to an appeal, which almost certainly will end up at the Wisconsin Supreme Court. While this case still might be decided by the court's current 4-3 liberal majority, it's a good reminder of just how important the upcoming race for state Supreme Court will be.
Find all of Dan's work at the Recombobulation area and on our website at civicmedia.us.
We visited Alexandria, Minnesota a few summers ago. Great time. Lakes, fishing, all that. But this year, for the holidays, we wanted a winter vacation that was just as memorable, just as family-friendly, but with lights and snow, and this time, with our grandkids in tow. This holiday, it's Alexandria again. We're coming back to make new memories.
Explore your holiday getaway options at explorealex.com.
Mother's tired, she needs a rest. The kids are playing up downstairs. Sister's sighing in her sleep. Brother's got a date to keep, he can't hang around.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is Shannon the Mayor. We are here with the Melkors, the Melkor Group, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, a great company here. And today, when you're going to do something with real estate, you kind of have to have a realtor now.
Yeah.
You can't just, go look at homes and, like we talked about earlier, this whole buyer agency, which is, it's cool. And then there's some work on commissions, too, that it's more fair, I think, for the seller. I do, but I don't.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's more about explaining to the seller what their options are.
Right.
And I think that's what this lawsuit brought about on the seller side of it, is explaining there's so many different ways to pay the buyer's agent.
Right.
And, around here, a lot of times it does still fall on the seller, because if you don't offer something, you're kind of fishing without a lure. You're just throwing your rod out there, and
hoping for the best.
Yep. And now agents have to take that extra step of negotiating what they're going to get paid too. So, but it's taking the time and explaining, because there are many different options that they have when they're listing their home and what commissions they're going to pay. So taking the time to sit down and showing them the pros and cons of each.
Right. And I think that's great. They got to know
Yeah.
it, because, boy, many of your customers are going to be a customer again, even though people turn homes over 7 years or 8 years, whatever the statistic is on that. They're going to go back to the same realtor if they had a good experience.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's great that you guys take the time to sit down and go through it. So what's anything new on the market that our listeners want to buy?
Yeah, so I've got a home on the market right now that's at 417 Fox Path Trail.
In Denmark.
It's in Denmark.
Oh, I love Denmark.
Yeah, Denmark, it is an up-and-comer.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's a great community. When you say
That's where I grew up.
Oh, really?
Oh, nice.
That's why I say it's amazing.
Well,
Nice.
That Inspired Spaces, the lighting store and furniture store, one of my favorite places to stop in.
Yeah.
They have good schools.
Oh,
Yeah.
great schools.
Great schools, I should say.
Yep.
They're doing great things. And to be that close to Green Bay, so you can kind of have life on your own terms.
So when you said 417, I thought that's an odd number. That's not the price.
That's
No,
yeah.
no.
But you know what?
No, it could
the
be.
price is kind of a
It's
little
close.
different too.
Yeah,
It's
$428.9.
Yeah, $428.9.
It's a
That's a little
4-bedroom
different.
ranch.
Yeah.
Ooh,
All right.
nice.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's got it is one of those homes. It's in the neighborhood is amazing.
It's a great neighborhood.
Yeah, it's just amazing neighborhood that it's in. There's a park right down the street. The school is really close, but the basement is finished where you honestly could have somebody live down there. I think it was a mother-in-law suite for
Ooh.
the prior owner. So it's got a little kitchenette. It's got a living
wet
space,
bar.
Oh, wow.
little wet bar. It's got a bunch of bedrooms.
Well,
and
if Junior hasn't
There you
moved
go.
out yet,
There
you
you
know,
go.
you want that space. I'll
yeah.
tell you that.
Well, that's what I said. I'm like, any kid would just, you'd
Yeah.
never see them.
Right.
They
Yeah.
would just,
Awesome.
Yep.
be
That-
down there all the time.
I mean, that's something to look at. There, I think there's a lot of people that have both those things. They have a kid that's
Yep.
still living at home, and they're working, but they're just trying to save money. I mean,
Right.
it's so tough to find a place. I
Yeah.
mean, you can
Yeah.
be making, $24 an hour, and it's tough. It just
is.
is tough to find
Yeah.
a place with the down payment, especially a house. I mean,
Yep.
Average.
and then
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say the other thing is that mother-in-law room is. We talked about that once before. Like I could see us doing
Yeah.
that. I just think that's a okay thing to do.
Well, I think we're seeing it more. We're at the age where, we are starting to take care of our parents. Some of the alternatives for them, if they can't live by themselves in their house, they're getting very expensive. And families have moved. So you're not necessarily in the same city as
Right.
your parents are anymore. And so when something happens, it's nice to have that space where you can pull them in. They still have their own space. You've got your own space. It's a great.
Yep.
Yeah. Average age of a first-time home buyer. Did you see that stat on the national news this week?
What are they
You told me
saying?
that's high.
38.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Isn't that
First-time
crazy?
home buyer. Average
Yeah.
age.
That is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we talked about that last time.
Well, we
Just-
mentioned
yeah.
that. I think we guessed, and we all guessed much, much lower.
Yeah.
Right.
Given that when we bought our homes,
Yeah.
we were
Things
much-
have
Right.
changed.
Well,
yeah.
Things have changed.
We were much younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, it was more affordable. And people can say, well, people are
Yeah.
making more money now. They're not making that much more money. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I mean, and I was talking to you about with some of these kids, they're not kids, they're young adults. What they pay in rent, though, is kind of crazy.
It is. And, you got to think, too, and it's something I don't think that we were hit with as much just because it was much more affordable. They're all sitting on college loans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The money that they have to get paid off, sometimes prior to even looking, depending on what their salary is, get paid off before they jump into a mortgage.
So that's why you're living in the basement. I mean,
That's-
to,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
to manage both those things is like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, it's tough to do. Well, I'm glad that you're there to help them, and you help people all ages, and your footprint's pretty. You're up in Door County. You're
Yeah.
obviously
He's got
in Denmark.
another one.
Yeah,
up
I
in
got
Door
a
County.
condo up just before Egg Harbor, Meadow Ridge. You'll see just before you go down the hill, left-hand side.
Really?
Yeah. That one is a 4-bedroom as well.
Wow.
Ooh, and finished basement.
Condo, finished basement, $499. They got a pool, they got a little workout
Really?
facility there. Condo,
Yeah.
condo, fantastic.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
guys- yeah. Let me know if you want to see it.
Their condos are great.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just is it because of the maintenance, right? I mean,
Yeah.
when you get a little bit older, and it's
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to do maintenance.
I know. Well, I'll tell you
Well, I
what.
actually don't do it now.
Todd was looking at him like, come on.
But I think it's important you keep people employed. That's why.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you
Yeah.
go.
You do it
There
for
you
the
go.
people.
I'm
You
right.
do it for the people.
For the people.
There you
It's for
go,
the
Jim.
people. It's for the people. That is
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
why I do it.
Well, I can't tell you now that we sold our house and we're kind of living, in an interim place. And I can't tell you when that snow falls. Ben is so happy he's not out there having a
Yeah.
shovel.
Oh, yeah. It'll
Yeah,
flake
I
out.
just honestly, I can't wait for the next big snowstorm. I just can't wait.
Watch that guy
Just
work.
to watch everybody else.
All right. Well, this is great, and thanks for moving Green Bay along, right?
Yeah.
Keeping
Oh,
people
our
informed.
pleasure.
And you
Yeah,
keep
we
them
love it.
optimistic too, which is cool. I think a realtor has
Yeah.
to be optimistic, not like gloom and doom. And you guys are super optimistic. It's the Melcor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, right here in Green Bay. Deanna and Ben Melcor, thanks for coming in. We will see
Thinking
you
of
next
the
week.
keyword.
I was going to say, I
What's
think
that?
that was the key word, Bell.
Yeah. You were gonna call
Bells, yes.
You were gonna call Ben Bell.
Yeah.
Bell. I was waiting for the bell. Okay, the bell rang. All right, we're gonna be right back. It's Mine on the Mayor.
She's got to be somebody's baby. She must be somebody's baby.
From De Pere to Swamico, 97.9 WGBW. Earl Ingram.
Tune in. Next time, we'll talk about protecting yourself from lead exposure with the Campaign for Lead-Free Water and Plaque. I'll also be joined by Dr. Robert Craig from Citizen Action.
The Earl Ingram Show, weekday mornings at 9.
No matter how you say it, Baronson's Candies in Green Bay has been synonymous with Christmas tradition since 1925. That means a trip to Green Bay without Baronson's Candies could get you in a lot of trouble. Stock up on your favorites like Meltaways, Pecan Turtles, and Angel Food. When buying your candy this year, you better make it Baronson's. The Baronson's family wishes you a Merry Christmas season. Baronson's Candies, 200 North Broadway in Green Bay. The chocolate people dream of, no matter how you say it.
Enjoying this local program? Find the complete Civic Media lineup at civicmedia.us or the Civic Media app. This is 97.9 WGBW Denmark, Green Bay's real news and great conversation, a Civic Media radio station.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The New York Police Department said to be alarmed by posters outside the New York Stock Exchange suggesting that Luigi Mangione is a martyr and that the murder of healthcare CEO Brian Thompson is, quote, a symbolic takedown over perceived corruption. Mangione remains in a Pennsylvania jail, refusing extradition to New York, where he is charged with Thompson's murder. Conditions are improving in Southern California. Santa Ana winds calmer, even though that fire in the hills above Malibu continues to burn. Out this morning, new numbers on inflation.
The November Consumer Price Index is expected to show a slight acceleration in inflation from the previous month. That might normally be enough for the Fed to hold interest rates where they are. But the job market continues to be resilient. Many economists expect the Fed to shave 0.25% from a key interest rate next week.
ABC's Jim Ryan. The numbers just released show consumer prices up 0.3% as expected. Pope Francis making his first remarks about Syria this morning. This is ABC News.
I'm Lisa Hale with WGBW News. Your news in depth. Find it in the news section at WGBW.FM. For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. The Wisconsin Department of Justice Division of Criminal Investigation is looking into an officer-involved death in Oshkosh. Officials say Oshkosh police received a 911 call about a stabbing on West 10th Avenue last night. Officers found a victim outside and a man inside the home brandishing a bladed weapon. The suspect failed to comply with orders to drop the weapon, and an officer discharged a firearm, hitting the suspect. While officers were trying to save the suspect, a second stabbing victim was found in the home. All injured parties were taken to the hospital, where the suspect was pronounced dead. DCI continues to investigate the incident. When the investigation concludes, it will give reports to the Winnebago County District Attorney's Office. The Donald Trump allies involved in a scheme to overturn the 2020 election results in Wisconsin could face decades behind bars. Savannah Tomei Olson has the new developments in the fake elector case.
The scheme involved Trump campaign staff and allies. Jim Trupus, a lawyer representing the Trump campaign in Wisconsin, Trump campaign advisor Kenneth Chesebro, and former White House aide Michael Roman. The State Department of Justice says they had 10 Republican electors sign fake documents saying Trump won Wisconsin when Biden had 20,000 more votes. Prosecutors say they planned to give this fake paperwork to Congress so Trump would get Wisconsin's 10 electoral votes. In July, the three were charged with 1 count each of felony forgery. Well, now the prosecutors have tacked on more charges, an additional count for each of the signatures on the fake document. That means Trupus, Chesebro, and Roman each now face 11 felony counts of forgery. Each of those counts could carry up to 6 years in prison and up to $10,000 in fines. Tomorrow is their first day in court. For Civic Media News, I'm Savannah Tomei Olson.
I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News. For news anytime, log on to WGBW.FM.
The Packers get ready for Seattle. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Packers installing the game plan for the Seahawks in Seattle on Sunday Night Football. If Green Bay wins and the Falcons lose, the Packers could clinch a playoff spot with 4 games remaining. Packers tight end Tucker Kraft.
This next storm of games, we're going to be locked in. We're going to be energized. We're going to bring that juice. We're going to be locked into our technique, our assignment, our alignment. If we win the line of scrimmage, we win each game.
College basketball, the Badgers lost down in Illinois last night, 86-80. That's Wisconsin's 3rd loss in a row. NBA, the Bucks with a 114-109 win over the Orlando Magic, and that means the Bucks are headed to the NBA Cup tournament in Las Vegas this weekend. After the game, Damian Lillard praised teammate Bobby Portis for his leadership.
You always want to make sure that you behave in a way that's respectable even when it's not going your way, because it's going to turn, and you want people to know, it's always great to see when Bobby is doing his thing. It's infectious and it changes our team.
That's the Bucks' Damian Lillard. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
This is your local Civic Media radio station. Want to hear even more? Anytime? Find all of it at civicmedia.us.
Light snow this morning, around an inch or less of accumulation possible, then becoming windy with falling temperatures this afternoon. Will be in the teens by late today. Tonight, windy and cold with a low of 2 above and a wind chill in the teens below 0. Tomorrow, sunshine with a high of 11. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Temperature now 24.
Hey, it's John Maino.
And Jim Schmidt from Maino and the Mayor.
Want to stay in the loop with all things Northeast Wisconsin? Sign up for the WGBW weekly newsletter.
Get the latest local stories, updates on the weather, and a special feature from our Maino and the Mayor podcast.
It's your one-stop shop for real news and great conversations in Northeast Wisconsin.
Log on to WGBW.FM today and get signed up.
Real news, great conversations. Sign up today at WGBW.FM/newsletter.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Jane Matnair and Greg Bach.
Coming up on the show, public service announcement with Dr. Laura Hanks. If you ever have a question for the doctor, just email it to janesays@civicmedia.us. We'll see you then.
Matnair on air. Weekday.
Coming to Northeast Wisconsin live from the Civic Media Studios and featuring TV and radio broadcast veteran John Maino, along with the City of Green Bay's longest serving mayor, Jim Schmidt. This is Maino and the Mayor. And here are your hosts, John Maino and Jim Schmidt.
All right, welcome back, everybody.
Good morning.
Here we are, Shannon and the Mayor, because Johnny's off this morning. So we are here on I don't know, it's a nice day. The sun's out. I mean, you look out the window,
And
the
there's
sun's
a really
out.
pretty little snow.
Right.
Very
26 degrees
beautiful.
in Green Bay, 27 in Appleton, 25 in Oshkosh. And we have a special guest. Johnny's going to be sorry he missed today for a lot of reasons. We've had some great people on here. Michael was on from Simple Life Hospitality. Of course, Molly from Day by Day Shelter. And the Melkors were just here from Berkshire Hathaway. Now, though, this is a good one. Elena Parman. Elena is what would you call
a saint?
Okay, just wait. I was looking for I'm trying to tell something a little bit. She is a personal trainer with a lot of patience and a lot of knowledge, and she is my personal trainer. And she was just
Lucky
talking.
girl.
No, she was saying before that it was when it started. It was a little rocky. She goes, you know what she said, Todd? She goes, Jim tells it like it is.
He does.
Like, what?
He'll say something sometimes that I don't even know how to respond to, but I just take it as it is.
Well, here we are, but I'm trying to make.
He's a high D.
I just
A high D.
Yeah, in the disc profile of people, he's a
Yeah.
high D.
Yeah.
I needed to take this. I wonder what
you
I
do.
am.
I am too. I'm very intrigued.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes to 100, and I was 98D.
Wow.
I know, so that's a little high, but that's okay.
Oh.
But I just want to say that there's the D, the I is, but the S is for, it all stands for something. C is for compassion or something. The guy who came, this Navy SEAL guy who did the seminar for us, it's only 24 questions. It doesn't take long to do it at all. It's amazing what they glean out of those 24 questions. And he said you need all four to run a successful organization. It's not like make the D's, turn them into I's or something. You know,
Right.
It's not at all. So,
Well, you being a high D, so you obviously don't have all four.
I'm a high D.
I love
Just
that.
wait, no, I'm a high D and a high I. but then it kind of drops off a little
Yeah.
bit. So,
Yeah,
but
right.
what it does is it tells you, like, let's say you're a high I or a high S. I can read on how to communicate with you.
Oh, okay.
That's more in your language.
Very interesting.
Which is what we're very compassionate.
No.
Oh, no, that's the C.
No,
that's the C.
You're
That's
not
the C. I'm not-
compassionate at all.
No way. I don't believe it.
Matt.
Right. I
All
was
right,
taken
all right.
aback by that one.
So, okay, Elena, you are this Western racket and fitness trainer.
Yes.
How'd you get into that?
So actually my background is in news. So I was a news anchor for a decade. And then my husband and I moved here for his job.
Where were you anchoring?
I was anchoring in Cincinnati, and then
good
also
city.
I was in Indianapolis, Rochester, Minnesota.
And then you came here.
Then I came here, yeah. And I've loved being in Green Bay, but I was wondering what's next. And I've always had a passion for fitness. I'm a certified yoga instructor, so I figured why not broaden the horizons.
Nice.
I've always been the fitness friend in the friend group. I would, train friends for fun on the side, so I decided to make it official.
Well, how can
That's
I be your
awesome.
friend so I don't have to pay $80 every time I see you?
Well, now I don't. Now I don't do the free trading thing.
Okay, all right, all right.
Everybody
Your
is
license-
charged.
okay, all right,
Yes.
That's great that you're in this and you found Western.
Yeah, I love it. I interviewed at a few different places, and the community at Western, it just felt like a perfect fit for me. Everybody's so welcoming, and
We've had Tad
Yeah.
on here.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
fitness, not the fitness, the nutritionist guy.
he's hilarious.
Yes. And then we had Mary's boyfriend, the football player. He owns a beauty shop.
Oh yeah, Jared.
Jared.
Yeah.
Jared's been on here too. And I know
Okay.
he's at Western all the time.
Mhm.
So if you had to judge the health and wellness of Green Bay versus Cincinnati, could you make a...
Well, it's kind of hard for me to judge that because the atmosphere I'm in all day is in a gym. So I see people who are wanting to be fit all day long. So I'm around people who are into health and wellness. So it's really hard for me to judge it. But I do know that there's some statistic that says Wisconsin has the most beer drinkers and whatnot. Not that that really has to do with fitness, but it does
Well, I would
kind
think
of.
there's a
Yeah, there's
correlation.
some sort of correlation
I
in
would
there,
think there would be.
but the people that I
See,
surround
Jack, he's
myself
drinking
with,
beer right now.
Wow,
I know. It's
wow.
just-
Let's see, 8:11 a.m.
Yeah,
Good.
you got to work for him. It's
Because he deals
we're all,
with Jim.
We're all going to pitch in and get you as a trainer. So
Oh,
don't
great.
tell him that.
Well, now he
so
knows.
You were going to come here, and John kind of chickened out. We're going to do push-ups today. We're gonna
Yeah.
do-
Well, guess what? When I train you in 2 hours, you're going to do push-ups for me. So in 2
Nice.
hours, Jim will be doing burpees and push-ups.
Elena,
Perfect.
can I've got some cash in my pocket. Can I, sweeten the deal and have you videotape that for
Yeah.
us?
No, can't
Okay,
do it.
good.
No, we signed that thing, right? It's little privacy. It's HIPAA, even though there's like not because we have big
HIPAA.
not because we have big HIPAAs. It's because we
She could blow her out your face.
yeah she
So,
yeah
I
okay.
could do that. I
there's
could do that.
options.
Oh,
Yes.
that's Jim.
Yeah.
So, look, the holidays are coming up, and
Yep.
people are going to be invited to a lot of things.
Yes. A lot
As
of
a matter of
parties.
fact, like you're coming to my party.
I
Which
am.
And I went. Do you drink?
I do drink,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
I don't go out of control, but,
No, no, but
one
what-
drink at a time.
Okay, I
Like,
just went. I don't drink, so I went and bought alcohol. I was telling Todd, that's expensive.
Very.
I'm not
Yeah.
complaining. It's like, wow, I hadn't done this in a while since last year.
Yeah, I only do on occasion, so I might have one drink or so
Oh,
at your party.
right.
Well,
Yeah,
well,
I'm not a weekend
Weekend warrior?
every
Yeah, no.
weekend drinker. No.
Oh well, that's that you would. There's people who are more than every weekend.
Yeah.
So tell me though, what can people do? I mean, this is a tough time of year.
Yeah,
because
so-
of the invitations.
Yeah.
Lots of
and the
temptations.
stress.
Yes. So, for me, during the holidays, a big thing is meditation. So, I wake up, meditate for at least 5 or 10 minutes, and that kind of sets the tone for the day. Also, first thing in the morning, work out. That'll help keep your sanity at bay.
Right.
And also, it just makes you feel better, not even from a physical standpoint, but from a mental standpoint as well. Helps to cure that stress.
Do you hit the snooze alarm when you meditate?
No.
That would be called sleep for me.
I
so you
always-
wake up and then you meditate.
Wake up, meditate.
You must get out of bed and sit on a chair or something, right?
I get up. Well, I do moving meditation, so it's possible. So there is, there's such thing as moving meditation. There's also, sitting in one place, but it's very hard for me to sit in one place. So I do it as I'm doing little things in the morning. I don't know. It's probably not as good as sitting in one place type of meditation, but it works for me.
But that can help with the stress.
It can.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because people, they do gain a little bit of weight this time of year. And there's so many, like we had a lady come in here. Get this. Did I tell you about that Coach Kathy that came in here?
You did tell me.
Okay,
yeah.
And she brought in cookies, and they're really good.
Yeah.
I was like, but she must make that and be disciplined enough not to eat them or
Stop
something.
at one. Stop at one, or
Right,
that's
okay,
it's
Lay's-
hard to
Lay's
do, but
potato
you do have
chips.
to be disciplined. And another thing when going to parties, bring a healthy dish.
Oh, yeah.
So that way, if you're trying to watch what you're eating, bring something is healthy. And if you don't see any other healthy options, you can eat.
You at
what's
least
on
have
your dish.
that.
Yeah, you'll at least have that.
And then next season, nobody will invite you to the party because you brought.
Yeah.
Who brought that?
I guess
What the
you could
hell
bring a
was
healthy
that?
one.
That green and orange? What was that? I don't know.
I'm gonna
She
bring
took it home.
carrots
She's
to
the only one
Jim's.
that ate
There
it.
you go.
No, don't. I'm good. I got everything we need. Don't bring anything. We just But it is a tough time, and I want to talk about the stress a little bit. I want you to talk a little bit more about yoga because we can go see you, but people can do that online, right?
You can do it online. Yeah, you can, there are YouTube videos. There's a really good yoga online YouTube woman. Her name's Yoga with Adrienne. She started doing it before the online videos became a big thing. And then she kind of blew up, I guess you would say, in popularity. That's a good person to follow for yoga routines that are online, I think. Yoga with Adrienne. She's on YouTube. So those are some good videos.
All right,
to do.
let's
yeah.
keep that in mind. Yoga with Elena.
Yeah, yoga. Oh.
No, it's Adrienne. I know. I got that.
That actually could
So, all
be a
right,
thing.
a little bit of yoga. Tell me about what people should be eating. And I know you're going to tell me fruits and vegetables, but
yeah.
But I mean,
Right.
tell me about cheating a little bit. How
I
do you
think,
get through the holidays? You're in obviously great shape. I
So-
mean, how do you get through it?
It's a little, so I can't prescribe meals because I'm not a certified nutritionist, but in general, it's good to, have protein at every meal and make sure you get in the adequate amounts of fruits and vegetables per day. If you don't want to consume them, drink a juice, like a cold pressed juice. Shout out to Bonafide. I love that place.
Oh,
yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
That's good. My doctor said to eat the protein first.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not educated in the order
Yeah,
of what to eat.
But which works for me.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. And then the fruits and vegetables, and then eat the carbs last.
Yeah.
To be fun.
That works.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's-
Yeah.
Well,
That makes sense.
Making sure
it
you
works
know-
for him.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Just make sure you get the protein, the carbs, a fruit or a vegetable in every meal. That's a good baseline to start at.
All right. Let's talk about working out.
Yep. So
Tell me a little bit about Western. There's great places here. I think in
There are.
Green Bay. I mean, you got to admit,
Yeah.
the Y
Lots of
system
options.
here is good.
lots of good options.
And, Planet Fitness is all right.
Mhm.
A little less expensive.
Yeah, there's options for everyone, for
which I
every
think is
budget.
cool.
I think it's great. And for Western particularly, we do have some specials that are going on right now. I'm going to pull them up just so I don't mess it up.
All right. No, it's
Yeah. So receive 10% off of a membership when you pay for an annual membership.
cool.
So that's a good deal that's going on right now. You can reach out to Amy, who is our membership person, if you're interested in joining Western.
Yeah,
And,
like
don't feel as if you're interested and you do a tour that you have to buy a membership. It's just, it's a free consultation type thing, and you go in tour, see if it's a good fit for you. We also have personal training special offers, which I do think, a plug for personal training. I think it's a good thing to invest in.
Well, you have 19 there, don't you?
The difference.
You have a lot of
We have
personal
a lot
trainers.
of personal
When I go
trainers.
at 10 o'clock, Todd, I swear to God, everybody there is with a personal trainer.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
there's
awesome.
one guy who's not, but 90% of the people, when I go,
Yes.
have a personal trainer.
Yep.
Which, what's
they
it-
push you. We
Yeah.
push you.
Well, yeah, it's exactly.
Yeah,
it's
there's a big
motivation.
difference.
We
There's
call
a
them
big
sick.
difference. I've worked out with a trainer before, and the difference between how I push myself when I'm working out by myself versus when I'm with a personal trainer, it's like night and day.
Right.
Yep.
So what's the deal?
So the deal-
What's my new deal?
Purchase 12 to 24 PT sessions, get one free. 36 to 48, get 2 free. 72 to 96, get 3 free. 108 to 144, 4 free. 6 months of membership or 4 free sessions with 144.
Oh,
Good deal. Amy has all that?
Amy has all that.
All right. You need to stick around. I'll talk to you a little bit more, Elena.
Yeah.
And we have to talk about yoga with Elena. I
Yeah.
know. Just kidding. That's the lady's name. All right, we're going to be right back. This is Shannon and the Mayor. You are listening to 97.9 WGBW and 98.3 WISS and the Civic Media app. We'll be right back.
The Talk of Green Bay, WGBW.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With limited incomes not keeping up with the lingering effects of inflation, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
Hey there, it's Carrie Joy with your Work Money Minute. Freezing your credit sounds drastic, but it's not. In fact, freezing your credit is one of the best ways you can protect yourself from identity theft. Freezing your credit doesn't stop your credit score from going up or down. It's just a way to make sure that nobody can open an account in your name, not even you, without removing your freeze first. So to freeze your credit, you just contact each of the 3 major credit bureaus and you request a credit freeze. Just search up the term credit freeze and you'll find the phone numbers and websites where you can get it all done. And don't worry, you can always unfreeze your credit when you need to apply for new credit, like a loan or something, by contacting each bureau again. For more money tips, check out workmoney.org or text MONEY, MONEY, to 88285. Till next time, this is Carrie Joy saying take good care.
From Hobart to Bay Settlement, 97.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is Shannon the Mayor.
Back.
Johnny is out this morning, but we're going to see him this afternoon at Zamboni.
No.
What? Zamboni's. No. Zamboni is what they clear in the ice with.
Correct.
At the hockey game.
My husband wants one of those.
What?
He's always said he wants to buy one.
That's fun.
Yeah.
What?
Random. Very random. Like, where are you going to put it?
Take her up and down the street or
yeah,
something?
I
or what?
don't know.
Or
Michael wants it.
Well, he's a big-time surgeon. Maybe you could get a huge ice skating rink in the backyard.
Yeah.
And your kids could play hockey and
that's actually
or
a good
figure
idea.
skating.
That's a good idea.
Figure skating is cool. I have that's not as lucrative as hockey, but it's great. And maybe if you have some other rich neighbors, you could lease out the Zamboni, go over there and clean it.
Yeah, right?
So it could all work.
Every time Michael always is like, I want one of those. I'm like,
Wow.
all right.
Okay.
Zambaldi
weird.
beer is where you guys are going to be at.
That's back to where we were. Zambaldi beer right on Webster Avenue, right next to Gallagher's. And at 4 o'clock, from 4 to 7 tonight, Johnny and I are going to be serving beer. It's called Pints for a Purpose. And when you come in and buy a pint of beer or was it a lager or a flat, $1 of every purchase goes to the Alzheimer's Association here in Brown County. And it's great. Yeah. They are really working hard. And the lady who runs it does both Brown County and Door County. So the walks, the education, the awareness. And, we want to support that. I had a sister who died from that. And John and Todd both have close relatives or close people in their family. And it's something that I think we're making some progress on. Sometimes you read this stuff, it's like, okay, come on. There's been some breakthroughs to slow it down.
Yeah.
Not cure it, slow it down.
Right.
And we want to support that. So
which is amazing.
It is. So it's tonight, 4 to 7. But for people who want to be healthy, and I think down deep we all do, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to be healthy?
Right.
Who doesn't want to feel good?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like Pat Paulson said, I'd rather be rich and healthy than sick and poor. Right?
Well, yeah.
That was Pat Bull. That's so you guys weren't even close to being on the planet when he was around.
Oh.
I just thought that was one of his
man,
funnier
that's
lines.
pretty good.
Yeah, it is, right?
That is pretty good.
So here we are. You work at Western. You're a personal trainer.
Yes.
Very successful. And Western does a good job, but it costs a little bit of money to do that.
It does, yeah.
And that's okay. Any advice for people who maybe aren't going to do that?
Yeah. So, it does cost money. It's an investment in your health. For people who might not have that budget right now, a good thing to do is just walk. I feel walking is one of the best and most underrated exercises anybody can do. And you don't need any equipment for it. You can just step out the door and walk outside. Obviously, it's pretty cold here.
So you might need a jacket.
It's pretty cold here in the wintertime and can be icy, so a little dangerous. But another good option is mall walking.
Yeah.
Walk in the mall. People do it. It's a
They
thing.
do
There
it.
are
Oh, yeah.
mall walkers. That's a really good way to stay fit for free.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they even have like signs up in the mall. It's like, if you, however many laps, is
Yeah.
so many miles.
Yeah. I think you can maybe get on Amazon some bands, some of those, resistance bands.
there you go.
Do some workouts at home with those. Those are cheap and they get the job done.
What about like the ankle weights?
Ankle
and
weights, yes, I do. I actually have those. I like
Well,
those.
perfect.
Yeah, those are good. So there are plenty of ways to work out on, a limited budget.
I back in my other job, I'd met with the Surgeon General, and he was I actually shared a cab with him. He said that if he could write, and this is the doctor of the United States, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
he's the top dog. If he could write one prescription, because we are, people asking him, this, that, and all these nutritions and questions, he would write a prescription to walk.
Oh, yeah.
So he said, so think about that. It's free.
Yeah.
Nobody's ripping you off. I mean,
Right.
and that Coach Kathy who comes in here who lost 235 pounds, which is unbelievable.
yeah.
And she's got the greatest glow about her and demeanor and outlook on life. And she walks every day like a lot, like 18,000 steps was her minimum.
Yeah.
Her minimum. Exactly.
That's a very large minimum. Most people should aim to get about 10,000, but I don't know the exact statistics, but 7,000 to 10,000 is a good marker to reduce levels of Alzheimer's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
among other
perfect.
things. Among other things.
yeah.
Yeah.
So did you, I don't know how you work in the morning, but if you listen, my co-host, John Maino,
Mhm.
who I thought you knew, but you don't.
Nope.
He keeps track of his steps.
I do too.
Okay, last weekend,
Hmm.
Saturday, Sunday, 48 hours,
Yeah.
335 steps.
No way. Are you sure he's tracking right? There's no way that's
That's the
little.
bathroom and back, right?
Right?
I mean, pretty much.
Does he sit on the couch all weekend?
He did that weekend.
It was football.
But
Was
he's-
he
it
sick?
I don't know. I'm just teasing him. But we both have this goal to get in shape, and we'll have this push-up contest next time you're back.
Yeah, perfect.
How are you going to train me for that?
We'll work on that today.
Doing
We'll
push-ups.
work on some push-ups at the gym today.
All right.
Chest presses.
There you go.
Yeah.
So if someone's like new to working out and they're like, okay, well, I can't afford to see a personal trainer because 2 times a week is.
I think 2 or 3 times a week is a good marker. If you really want to see change, you have to. I would say 3 times per week. 3 days of resistance training,
Mhm.
and then sprinkle in some walking every day. Aim for those 7,000 to 10,000 steps every day.
So even if they can't, so they're like, I can't afford 3 days a week. Could someone even just come and meet with you, say maybe 1 or 2 times?
Yeah, we do offer free demos with
And
clients.
just kind of,
yes.
what can I do from here on out?
Yep.
Can
Yes. So with per client, potential clients, I should say, you can do a demo session, and that's a free session that you can give to people. And then they get 2 free sessions per person. I should
that's
say.
wonderful.
Yes.
And you can, if you're going to stay at Western, you learn the machines, right? You kind of want to learn that because some of those can be a
Yeah.
little bit intimidating. Some of them are.
That's a good point that you bring up. Every first Tuesday of the month at 9 a.m., as well as at 5 p.m., we do a Master the Machines session, which
Ooh.
I actually am the leader of it. So I go through the machines and demonstrate to members who want to learn how to use the machines, how to use
I think that's
those
great.
machines.
And those machines are not easy, but depending on the weight. I mean, they're very smooth. That's what I was looking for. It's not like
smooth,
you're going to hurt yourself in those machines.
And it's a good option for people who, aren't, dumbbells are harder to use than machines because you have to, stabilize yourself with your core, your legs. But machines, they're a little bit easier because you can sit down. But that being said, they also can be challenging as you add the weight.
Right.
Right. Challenge yourself.
That's awesome. All right, so we're going to, and you are an advocate of yoga, and you say online this yoga with, not Elena, but with
Yoga
who?
with Adrian's pretty
Adrian.
good. Yeah.
Look at that one. That's a good one.
Good
we
one.
can always go to Western. You got some great ideas coming in. And Todd plays your music for you. We're going to get you back here, and we're going to do a little more with my co-host when he's back. But, Elena, thanks for what you're doing to make Green Bay healthy, right? I think it's awesome. We're going to see you Saturday. Thanks for what you're doing. And I'm going to see you in 2 hours.
Yes, an hour and a half now.
Okay.
Better show up on time.
Thanks
Jim.
for coming in.
Thanks
Our
for
Live
having
apartment in Western Racket. We'll be right back. WGBW, home of Maino and the Mayor.
Local radio for you and your community. It's Civic Media's mission with stations across Wisconsin. Find your favorites at civicmedia.us.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. Wisconsin Republicans have filed a lawsuit seeking a court order to resolve a discrepancy between state and federal laws about what date the state's presidential electors must meet to cast Wisconsin's 10 electoral college votes for President-elect Donald Trump. State law calls for the meeting to take place on December 16th of this year. But a 2-year-old federal law says the vote must take place this year on December 17th. The Wisconsin Republican Party filed a lawsuit Friday in U.S. District Court seeking an order that electors follow the federal law and cast their votes on December 17th. We're in the middle of open enrollment for affordable health care coverage. Melissa Kay has more.
The enrollment period for affordable health care coverage is open now. Wisconsinites statewide can sign up for health insurance now through January 15th. The open enrollment period began on November 1st and extends through January 15th, 2025. More than 250,000 people in Wisconsin signed up for health insurance during the last open enrollment period. Signed into law in 2010, the Affordable Care Act ensures people can access health insurance without lifetime limits and protects the coverage of people who have pre-existing conditions. Another key provision of the ACA, authored by Senator Baldwin, allows young people to stay on their parents' insurance until the age of 26.
Vicki Bayer, the Green Bay Area Public Schools interim superintendent, will remain in her position through the end of the 2025-26 school year. The district's Board of Education voted unanimously to extend her contract this week. The district will use the extra time to explore options for hiring a superintendent for the 2026-27 school year. Bayer has been interim superintendent for 9 months, following the resignation of Claude Tiller in March. I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News. For news anytime, log on to WGBW.FM.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Home Alone is at the top of many people's viewing list every holiday season. According to an Instagram poll conducted by the website Puberty, Home Alone was voted the greatest Christmas movie of all time. The film garnered 446,000 votes to take first place ahead of The Nightmare Before Christmas, which came in second. If you want to be entertained, read the comments on the Instagram poll where people argue about Christmas movies, and not exactly with holiday cheer. Other runner-ups included The Santa Claus, Christmas Vacation, Elf, and It's a Wonderful Life. You want to talk about range as an actor? Who could play Bruce Springsteen, a wrestler in Iron Claw, and the son of Jabba the Hutt? The answer is Jeremy Allen White. White has just signed on to play Jabba the Hutt's son in The Mandalorian and Grogu. Variety reports that White will provide the voice for the role and that this is the Emmy-winning actor's first role in a major movie franchise. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Your news, conversations, and a whole lot of fun. It's all on your local Civic Media radio station or the Civic Media app.
Light snow this morning, around an inch or less of accumulation possible, then becoming windy with falling temperatures this afternoon. Will be in the teens by late today. Tonight, windy and cold with a low of 2 above and a wind chill in the teens below 0. Tomorrow, sunshine with a high of 11. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Temperature now 24.
The holidays are here, and it's nearly time to pick a present from our grown-up gift list with our Civic Media statewide Text to Win contest. Listen while you work for the keywords to text for your chance to win $100 cash, an overnight vacation at Chula Vista Resort, and be entered to win one of our grand prizes, a robot vacuum, new luggage, humidifier, espresso machine, and more on our grown-up gift list at civicmedia.us. Just download the Civic Media app and listen weekdays at 7, 11, 1, and 4 for your chance to win in our statewide contest.
Ever tried balancing a dozen eggs in one hand while hopping on one foot? Or maybe juggling cats while riding the unicycle? Sounds ridiculous, right? But guess what? That's exactly what texting while driving is like. Your human brain only has the capacity to focus on one thing at a time. So when you're behind the wheel, give driving your undivided attention.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Pete Schwaba.
On the next Nightlight, I welcome Civic Media Master Discombobulator Dan Schaefer, and Northeast Wisconsin actor Kurt Krause drops by the studio to discuss independent film.
Miss part of the show or want to share it with a friend? Check out the Maino and the Mayor podcast at civicmedia.us and on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Take Maino and the Mayor with you everywhere. Now, once again, Maino and the Mayor, John Maino and Jim Schmidt.
All right, welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back.
All right, with Shannon and the Mayor.
Yeah.
Shannon Cohen has been sitting in this morning because John had something else to do. You're awesome. I mean,
thank you.
Well, we've had quite a variety of people, right? From Simple Life Hospitality to the day-by-day homeless shelter, and then the realtors and the Western, the training. And you know a little bit about everything, enough to be a good host.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
That's awesome. And now we're going to talk with Jenny Young. You know, I'm always talking about how great things are in the holidays, get into it, but something that we can't deny, and I don't think we do in this community, is suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens. And the big event that you probably all are aware of is the Be the Light Walk, which takes place in September. Thousands of people come. We light the bridges, you know, to honor your color. And people come in. Some of them have pictures of who they lost.
Wonderful.
It's a great time to talk to someone else, because that's the survivors of suicide must suffer quite a bit.
Oh,
Guilt.
absolutely.
But Jenny, you are here, and you're much more than Be the Light Walk. You are the chairperson of the Brown County Coalition for Suicide Prevention, and I'm glad you're doing that.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about this very important topic.
And is this a tough time of year?
It's a tough time for people in their mental health. A lot of additional stress. People experiencing depression and anxiety around the holidays. But a matter of fact, it's a myth that suicide occurs more regularly around the holidays. Because it is a very festive time, a lot of people will reach out to those that they care about. So I work at the crisis center as well. So we actually see less calls and less need for service around the holidays.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean people aren't struggling.
Right.
And it's really important then after the holidays end to continue that support of those loved ones that you know are having a hard time. Because it can go away after the holidays
Right, it's
end.
so much buildup and hype, and you're with all your favorite people, and then it's nothing.
Right.
And I was talking to you during the break, and another myth, something that some of us would think that suicide is a lot of, teenagers and struggling with so many things. They talk about the bullying and then just a lot of things, but it's not limited to teens.
Right. Suicide is not limited to any one population. It affects everybody, no matter age, race, demographic, any kind of information. Youth tend to talk about suicide more often. They have higher rates of suicide attempts, but it's actually the elderly that have the highest deaths by suicide. And that's because most of their attempts are premeditated. They are very well thought out. The elderly also have complex medical issues that can make them more susceptible to death following an attempt. So we have to really think about all of those people that we care about, from our young people to our older adults as well.
Right.
But that's sad.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad with anybody, but I'm just saying that elderly people who really think about this and have a higher, I hate to call it a success rate, but they have a higher, whatever the rate is called. That's too bad. What can we do, though? I mean, I don't know that people walk around with signs saying I'm suicidal.
No. How can we help?
It's really just keeping an eye and an ear out to those people that you see and interact with. If something seems off, if you're worried about them, taking that minute or couple seconds to just check in and ask if they're okay. Being direct. You need to ask them directly, are you having thoughts of suicide? A lot of people are...
ID. We're direct.
That's you. That's
Yes,
right. That's
yeah.
right.
But I think you're right about that because that is not a comfortable subject. But you have to say to them, look, honey, are you in any danger of hurting yourself? Because
Right.
that can happen. I mean, that has happened.
Right.
So,
And
Is there like signs that you kind of notice that people can notice or look out for?
Honestly, one of the most common signs is people talking about suicide. And I think, again, there's a misconception that, well, if somebody talks about suicide, they're not actually going to do it because they wouldn't tell you. No, sometimes they are telling you exactly what they're thinking because they want somebody to
Right.
ask. They want somebody to help them. It is a very lonely feeling to be having those thoughts. It's very scary. Usually by the time someone's at that point, they have been struggling with those thoughts for a very long time, trying to help themselves, and they're reaching a point where they don't know what more to do, so it's an escape from what they're dealing with. So we need people to ask. You're not going to give someone the idea to kill themselves by asking if they're thinking about suicide.
You know what? Again, I had not a lot of experience with this, but a little bit. And I was surprised by that. Like, bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to them. Say, look, are you suicide? I'm like, no, put that in their head. It's like, look, if it's there, it's there.
Right. You want to bring it up. Similarly, when someone's lost a loved one to suicide, we also want to think about those people that have experienced that loss, and we want to be comfortable talking to them about the experience. Because I think suicide is such a stigmatized topic. It's kind of taboo in our community, which our coalition is working very hard to get people comfortable talking about it. But those survivors that have lost someone to suicide, often people don't know what to say to them. It's very different.
That is very true.
In their minds than losing someone to a heart attack. People are more comfortable talking about that, but they don't often know how to approach that topic. But someone's lost a loved one, just be there for them, just offer support.
Tell me the crisis liner. Does the person who's struggling call you, or can someone else call you and say, I know this person? Tell me how that works. 'Cause that's a 24/7 thing, right?
Right. Yep. The Crisis Center has 24-hour phone counseling and in-person counseling. So someone can walk into our center at any time. And it can be either. It can be the person that's struggling and wanting help, or it can be someone that's saying, I know someone's struggling and I don't know how to help. Like, tell me what my next steps are. Tell me where I can take them. So the crisis line's available to Brown County residents specifically. Every county in Wisconsin has crisis services. So if you're not listening from Brown County, there is help available to you. There's also the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, 988, which is available nationwide. So anyone can utilize that number, and they provide the same type of support.
That's it? Like that's it? 988?
988, yep, 3 digits. Easy to remember, easy to call.
I'm not sure I knew that. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's...
Where does that ring?
In Wisconsin, Family Services has 988 Wisconsin Lifeline. They are the call center for the entire state, and the Crisis Center backs them up. But there are call centers throughout the nation. So depending on where you're located or where your phone number is registered to.
That's awesome.
Great to know.
Tell me about what to say or the stigmatism. I think, I don't want to say what people think, but I'm assuming what people think is that there might have been a failure, or you know what I mean? And people who understand suicide, that's a very selfish thing to do.
That's what people say.
Okay, I'm 0-3 on my myths, aren't I? I'm not doing very well this
I
with you.
appreciate you bringing them up.
Okay, tell me about what do we say, or you don't think that? Okay, you talk.
So again, someone who's been struggling with thoughts of suicide, a lot of times they are thinking about the people around them because they feel like they can be a burden to the people around them. So maybe it's easier if I am not here. And it's really just about trying to find some relief and escape from the pain that they're in. So if someone's having thoughts of suicide, we would really discourage you from, pointing out that it's selfish or think of how that's going to affect the people that you love. It's
Mhm.
really about, tell me what's happening with you, what's got you to this point, what could help. Really just being there. And sometimes it's not even saying anything, because we do, when we don't know what to say, sometimes have a tendency to say the wrong thing because we're just spewing words. So it's sometimes just being comfortable with being with that person and listening.
And so if someone is suicidal and they say, yeah, I'm thinking about that, what's the cure? Like, is it counseling? Is it a different environment? Is there a common thread? Because that's not a lifelong thing, is it? You can get cured from being suicidal, right?
It's...
Or am I 0-4 now?
No. There's definitely help available. People that have thoughts of suicide don't continue necessarily to have thoughts of suicide throughout their life. For some, those thoughts can be very short-lived. It's in response to a situational stressor. So it might just be distracting them from what's going on or giving them support in that moment. For others, it is ongoing, persistent mental health condition that has led them to that point. So it might be seeing a psychiatrist and getting on medication, and definitely counseling for anyone that's having thoughts of suicide. Talking about what led them to that point and working through that would be helpful. So it's no one thing. It really varies depending on the individual, but we do always encourage, at least, again, if you're having thoughts of suicide, you can walk into the crisis center at any time of day to talk to one of our counselors to help. We can help you kind of work through what got you there and what are the next steps. What might it take to help you stay safe?
And as you say that, I'm thinking, well, they can't drive. But you're saying a lot of the people are 55, 60, 65 years old that are contemplating this, and they can
Right.
see you,
And
drop
for
in.
those that can't drive, a lot of times they reach out to friends, they reach out parents sometimes, or a trusted adult, and those people can help get them there. The school is a great source of referral to the crisis center. They pick up on a lot of people that are struggling, and we have ways also to assist with transportation if people can't get to us, or we go mobile as well.
Jenny, I've got a question, if you don't mind, Jim. While we don't, in news, we don't necessarily report on suicide stories, right?
Right.
But sometimes it's kind of known what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see copycat situations where that takes place and then that may spur somebody else to follow through?
There are times that we have seen that, and as the coalition, that's been something that we've done, is tried to discourage publicity around deaths by suicide, especially I think in our area. Probably one of the most commonly known is the bridge. The Leo Frigo Bridge has been a site of deaths by suicide, so we have discouraged the media from drawing attention to that, and it's not necessarily that we shouldn't report on those deaths like any other death, but it can cause people to consider that option, and also can be painful, especially if names are put out there to draw that attention to how someone died.
Were you at the suicide walk when we had the guy who jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge there?
I don't believe I was there that year.
I'll talk about that break. I want to get him back here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unbelievable. I got his book. Unbelievable story. It's just an incredible story. And there's a bridge that people know they know it for a lot of things. I mean, connect Sausalito, but I think people have used that bridge for suicide. And I think that is, I hope Leo Frigo Bridge never turns into that. Although we've had a couple on there.
Mm-hmm. And I think that gentleman's story, one of the most powerful pieces of it is how quickly after he jumped, almost immediately after that, he regretted that decision and was glad to survive. And that kind of demonstrates how quickly that mindset can shift, that if we can delay someone for just seconds from following through on an attempt, we can save their life.
And he's not, I just want to say he's not alone in that. This is what he told me. Now, I haven't seen him in, 7-8 years, but the survivors of the Golden Gate Bridge, to a T, 100% of them are like, after they jump, they're like, what am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
That's scary in and of itself, I think.
Right.
There are not a lot of survivors. I mean, he was very, very fortunate what happened to him. So, all right, here we are, Green Bay, holidays. We have suicide going on in all walks of life and all age levels. Couple pieces of advice for our listeners.
Again, I can't promote enough that there's help available. The Crisis Center in Brown County, 920-436-8888, 24 hours a day. The National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, 988, for anyone to utilize. And again, take time to listen and to ask questions. Be direct. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable, because you really could save a life by doing that.
And you're not planting anything. And I
Right.
think that's really important because I think we're all so afraid of saying the wrong
Right.
thing and having to live with that. All right. Well, that's awesome. Thanks for what you're doing. You know, we live in this great community and everybody talks about the jobs and the Packers and everything else, but it's organizations like yours that make it a great community.
Well, thank you for talking about that.
Thank you
It's
for
awesome.
coming in.
Yeah, we'll have you back here. And I sure want to promote that Be the Light walk when that comes up. I know that's ways away, but we'll have you on again because I just think this is important.
It's very important.
So we talk about it. All right. Hey, we're going to be back with Nikki. Nikki's back in the house. Took yesterday off. She's finally back. Talk a little bit about our afternoon, what's going on here and the pints for...
Pour pints for a purpose.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's...
I still like pints for a profit, but that's not what it's about. Okay, we're going to be right back. It's Maino on the Mayor.
In the morning you go gunning for the man who stole your water. And you will fight till he is done, but they catch you at the border. And
97.9 WGBW and WGBW.FM.
Join Lou Rugani for the Music of the Stars every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. until noon. Lou brings back the nostalgia from the golden age of radio with the music, drama, and comedy shows that made radio magic. Music of the Stars is sponsored by Lakeland Care, providing personalized support that aims to improve quality of life and maintain independence for elders and those with disabilities. It's the Music of the Stars, Sunday at 7 on 97.9 FM and 1590 AM WGBW, Talk of Green Bay.
You're listening to the American Democracy Minute, keeping your government by and for the people. If you follow the American Democracy Minute, you know that until last year, Wisconsin held the infamous title as one of the most gerrymandered states in the U.S. That changed November 5th. Former Governor Scott Walker accelerated gerrymandering of the Wisconsin Assembly, Senate, and congressional maps during his 2011 to 2019 tenure, engineering a 64-35 majority in the Wisconsin Assembly and a 22-11 majority in the Senate, despite an evenly divided liberal and conservative electorate. In 2023, the GOP was short of a supermajority by only 2 assembly seats. Vetoes by current Governor Tony Evers tried to keep even worse maps at bay, but a conservative Wisconsin Supreme Court ultimately allowed them. But a Supreme Court election in 2023 shifted the ideology of the court, and the court's reconsideration of the Assembly and Senate maps led to new, fairer maps for the 2024 general election. While Republicans maintain control of both houses, fair maps reduce the artificial Republican advantage in the Assembly 54-45 and the Senate 18-15. Veto overrides of the governor are far less likely, forcing the legislature to compromise on more legislation. The congressional district map, which did not change but is also widely recognized as gerrymandered, gave a 6-2 advantage to Republicans. We have links to local reporting at AmericanDemocracyMinute.org. I'm Brian Beal.
From Denmark.
Oh, I said Nikki. Okay, I got it. All right, she's back in the house. Finally, we missed you.
Gone one day.
I know.
One day.
That's just that doesn't
work
that,
from home and.
Can I say something?
Does that show the relevance of you in house?
I guess.
Yeah, I don't think you understand when you're not here.
Right.
How people are like, "Where's Nikki? Is Nikki okay?
Yeah.
Is she all right? Do we need to go?
Right.
Grab her a pizza?"
The other thing,
it was crazy.
As I've told many people,
Nobody cares if Jim or John are gone or Todd.
We know
but
that.
Yeah,
Nikki's
no
not
callers.
here.
No callers about Maino.
No, but you have a quality about you that you can tell you're a good mom because you kind of take care of like everybody.
Everybody.
And you feel that way too, right?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
You know that. People have said that before.
Yeah.
I mean, you are just
I don't know if I'm the office mom. I'm a little too young in my own opinion.
office mom.
But
That's awesome.
Yes.
But you do organize a lot of things, and you kind of keep,
everyone on track.
Yes.
Well,
She's
I try.
also-
That's
she's
just
very
something very
steady
impossible.
with her
Right.
emotions, and
You can
it's
tell.
Oh, yeah.
And you
very
got what?
zen.
14 and 18-year-old boys, so that's
I've
got to
got
keep you.
almost 21
Okay.
and almost 21 and 14. So
now, Shannon's-
today, the great blow to my ego, and the reason I'm wearing a hat is because my 14-year-old was kind enough to give me like this jump scare back, and he's like, "Mom, you've got a lot of gray hair."
Oh, okay.
Like,
All right. What's his
listen,
name?
What's his name? Is what his name is.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we'll have him roughed up.
Adopted,
Yep.
abandoned.
Right, abandoned.
Yeah, I'm just days away from my root touch-up, bud. But here's the deal.
Oh, you got to
So mom
get them closer together.
Oh yeah, I was bad.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Do it
so
like Jim.
I've-
He's got it on his calendar every month.
That's right. I say what you want. I do
You
not dye my hair.
schedule your next appointment before you even leave.
Oh, always.
Always. See, I bet
Yeah.
you have a standing appointment every 4 weeks.
Always.
Yep.
Always. And my dog, too.
Yep. Oh well, Milton, of course. My
Yes.
dog has a
Although, did I tell
standing
you-
every other week.
You weren't here, but his
stylist.
What did they call
No,
them?
they were.
Groomers.
Yes,
She was
groomers.
sick.
Yes, and then it's
So
all
we
wonky.
Yeah, we had to get it all scheduled. That
Oh,
was-
I mean, and
I
who
told him
needs that
He was
before
very
the holidays?
He was very bummed out when I told him. Too. I'm like, no, this ain't gonna happen.
I can
So,
imagine. He didn't get his
anyway,
spa day.
Yeah, he'll get it.
Okay,
So
but,
anyway,
so
tonight,
I am back in the office.
and you're bartending with us tonight, right?
And I'm here to like get things back on track because
Thank
you have been
Off the rails.
well, I mean, and grossly mispronouncing the location of tonight's event,
Well, I
right?
think people are like, okay.
So
what,
tonight
but
is
then
the
they say to
simple-
themselves, Zimbaldi. So they're saying that. They're saying like, see, I do that on purpose because I say Zimbabwe, Zamboni. They're saying no, it's Zimbaldi, so it's in their head.
Oh,
See, that's-
okay.
I'm
well, you
way,
keep
way
telling
ahead of you.
yourself that
Way,
you
way,
are
way ahead of you.
helping them.
High D.
Way ahead of you.
High D.
High D. Yep. Disc training.
Can't be
Disc.
wrong.
No, 98%. So what this
you're listening.
is it's celebrity bartending, okay? And obviously
Who's
we're
coming to
using
that?
that
Boy, that's loose.
that term celebrity. Whew. I mean bartending.
Who's
No.
coming?
So celebrity bartending with you and Johnny, right? You beloved, very passionate about the Alzheimer's Association.
That we are.
It is a very close cause to a lot of folks that in our organization. So what better way for us to be able to give back than to go ahead. Zimbaldi welcomed us in, have you two clowns on the other side of the bar tonight, and just helping pull pints of beer.
All right. And that's-
Socializing, chatting, networking, shaking hands,
Taking
kissing
tips.
babies.
Taking tips.
Hey, the
Yes.
guy. All right, the guy you need to focus this discussion on is the guy who's going to be behind the bar drinking up the profits. So you
Oh.
want to really, he's not here. He's out Christmas shopping. I think he's getting my gift. I hope that's what
Probably.
he's doing today because he said, "Look,
Oh, yeah.
I
At
did,
an
he was-
undisclosed
Right.
location.
He was online
Right.
yesterday. Christmas, Google search for Christmas gifts for high D's. You should have saw the stuff that came up.
And that was
that
on the company computer.
That's correct.
Good, good,
Ooh,
good.
there you go.
okay, well, at least
Good.
as long as he gets something."
We should
This
give
is
him
gonna be-
Tom's card for that behavioral training.
So tonight, pour
From-
pints for a purpose at Zimbaldi's,
Zimbaldi's.
on Webster Avenue, right next to Gallagher's Pizza, 4 to 7.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
going to be casual. It's going to be fun. Loose atmosphere. Obviously delicious
Right.
craft beer on tap.
And some information on Alzheimer's, which is there's a lot of resources
There's
here
going
in
to
Brown
be
County.
great folks from the Alzheimer's Association there. If you have any questions, but also just to make that connection, right?
Yeah.
I think they do a great job of getting out and in the community with all of their events. To
Oh, yeah.
raise awareness. And so Carrie and Joe and maybe some other folks from their organization will be there to
Great.
chat it up as well. But just really, we're all kind of busy these days. And what a great way to raise money and awareness and have some fun. Take the edge off of maybe your day, your week, the holiday season.
Right.
So
That's
we're
okay.
gonna
And
we're gonna
feel
have
good-
some
feel
fun.
good about something.
Absolutely.
All right, it'll be fun.
It says there's bragging rights to the bartender with most tips. So
We have to figure out how we're going to keep track.
We
how
will
are you going to
have
keep track? And
separate bins,
Who are you gonna?
obviously.
Who are they? Who are they going to pick?
right
How
here.
does that determine the show tomorrow?
This guy who sent in the text right
Well,
here.
Peter Fluke said
Read
he's
his.
proud of you, first of all, for getting professional help with your fitness journey, but he also said, basically, see you at Zambaldi Beer this afternoon. So
I can do both. When I read
I
that,
think I owe Peter a beer just for
just for being?
Yes.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, him and Tracy both.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to bike there.
Yeah.
Probably.
And don't forget,
Show-offs.
tomorrow morning we are live from the Packer Party House right across from Lambeau Field. And
Super
we want to see
exciting.
you out there. That's going on from 6 until 9 tomorrow morning, 1167 Shadow Lane.
And the backyard is, you see the
Oh, it's great.
stadium. That's going to be a fun party. We're there from 6 to 9, obviously, our show. And we have some great surprise guests coming in. They're going to talk a lot about some great things in the great Green Bay community. And then it's also open from 9 to noon if you can't make it from 6 to 9. So stop by 1167 Shadow Lane. Nikki, thanks for coming in.
Shannon,
and
thanks
you
for
miss
coming.
Shannon.
You did awesome.
Isn't she great?
Yeah.
Love her.
I love it.
So, all right, we're going to have you back, Shannon.
Yay.
And we will see everyone tonight, hopefully, at Zambaldi's.
All right, have a great
Got it
day.
right. Got it right. It's 4 o'clock. Maino and the Mayor will see you tomorrow morning at 1167 Shadow Lane.
Goodbye.
This is the talk of Green Bay, WGBW.